I mean, I just think that a lot of people try to seek that when it's something they don't want, especially men. In the idea of like teenage boys in getting into those developmental years where they want the high paying job, they want the hot girlfriend, they want this, like, I want to be conqueror of all women.
Oh, come on.
You
Guys
know,
need a good paying job just to be noticed.
2 drinks in.
all right, are you guys ready to go live?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. All right.
Why not?
Why not? Don't we? And 3, 2, 1. Hi, hello, good evening, and welcome to Regamers with our very special podcast, 2-day in a row special of 2 Drinks In, a relationships podcast where we take your very real questions and get really drunk and analyze whatever it is you asked us objectively and with compassion. Joined, as always, my name is Kendall. I have my cohort here, Mr. Adam Ayala. Adam, how are ya?
Pretty good. How you doing today, beautiful?
Oh, I'm doing sexy. And we are joined in a very special multi-stream with our wonderful friend, Miss Reagan Williams. Reagan, how are ya? Hello.
I'm good. How are you? I need to turn my TV on because I just realized I have a stupid ring light reflection. So I'll do that in a second.
You go ahead and take care of that. We'll go ahead and talk to everybody. And
That's really professional. Isn't it?
we run a very professional business here, and I would respect you in your stream. I hope that you do the same for mine. Okay.
I understand.
That's all right. We're perfectly fine. So we have a couple things to go over for tonight. Adam has prepared for us some wonderful memes to discuss, which is our favorite segments. We have a couple wonderful questions. And in my chat or in Reagan's chat, if you go to Reg's Voices and check her out on twitch.tv/Reg's Voice, and I'll put that little link in my chat there. Adam can go ahead and link us over. Or multi-stream if you're in hers, and you can see mine. And just give us your thoughts, comments. By all means, we're open to anything. So, let's go ahead, get started, shall we?
Let's do this.
So, we, as always, drinks up.
Yes.
Drinks.
Is it a White Claw? I don't know. We should have said no White Claw. Okay, good.
No. White wine is fine. So,
No, it's
today, we have to cheers. And I'm going to take the honors because I never do. With tomorrow being Friday the 13th in 2020. Here's to everybody getting lucky tomorrow.
Yes.
Everybody getting lucky tomorrow.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Ugh. I will say really quick though, I'm sorry for anybody that's on the multi-stream and you're not seeing me on my channel. Like, it's not working. I'm not sure what's with my webcam lately.
I think because your webcam is attached to you stream through Slobs, right? OBS?
Yeah. Well, Streamlabs.
Streamlabs takes priority. And so the way I do it is you take a window capture of the Zoom call. So if you want to add that, go into window capture or go into like adding your scene or whatever, wherever your camera normally would be.
Yeah, the sources. Yeah.
Yep. And just go to window capture and throw it into where your camera would be. And then you would have all 3 of us there.
I see.
So I had to learn that the hard way the first night.
Oh, I don't know why that can't be easier. Why can't that be an easier? So,
Well, because your cameras on Logitech take priority for
Yeah.
whatever program you're running it into. So if you're deciding, I want to run it through this, that's why with Streamlabs, you can go ahead and grab the window capture. So that goes for everybody else who is streaming out there and you ever want to do a Zoom call like we do.
got it. Okay. Well,
But Shay, we're all hanging out, chilling.
That's all right.
yes.
That's all right. We're easygoing. We're relaxed. This is not a full professional grouping. We're not here to judge. We're not here to...
There we go.
There it is.
Judging like crazy actually right now.
Well, you would. You kink shamer. Shaming.
I never king shamed.
Never.
You were like, feet, ooh.
Well,
I heard
that
it.
was Vanessa who was like feet. Ooh, I was the total opposite. Get out of here with that.
Hell yeah, suck toes.
Yeah. Damn straight. Damn straight.
Okay.
All right.
So
Are
you
we
got
done?
some spicy memes, Reagan. Are you set to go? Are you
I think so.
say hi to
Oh,
Jasper
there's
for me?
Jasper in the
I know he's
background.
back there.
Yeah, right. And hopefully we get Oscar on my end, and then they can talk to each other.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That would be fun.
Here we go. So here's our MGTOW. This is r/MGTOW. So the first one is,
Ooh.
oh Jesus, this is a rough one. This is feminist equality. Bill Cosby, black man. Credibility threatened by accusations from 30 years ago. All media presence removed from view. Lena Dunham, white woman,
Oh.
admitted to committing pedophilia less than 20 years ago in her own autobiography. TV show still on air. No media repercussion. The naked truth about feminist equality. Oh, going in deep.
That's
First one.
interesting. I know Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham, yeah.
Yeah, I know her from Girls.
Oh, that's where I know her.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of people do not
I don't
like
know
her.
who she is. Yeah, I've
A
never.
lot of people don't like her.
Well, probably because of that.
Yeah, I mean it's understandable.
I don't know the extent of the pedophilia, you know.
I don't either.
It's one of the, I guess because there's not so much coverage is one of the things. I think goes into a deep thing where somebody shared to me earlier, where it's like there are so many female pedophilia, but nobody reports it because men are so trained that having sex is an achievement, and if you make it with an older woman, you've made like the ultimate goal. Because I mean, like, what's the number one fantasy as a high school student? You have the hot teacher, right? That like. I think South Park put it the best, where there's an episode with Ike, the kindergartner, who's having sex with his teacher.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody, when they describe it, is like, there's a child having sex with the teacher. It's like, no, it's a female teacher. They're like, oh, wait, what?
What?
Is she hot? And they're like, yeah, very. And they're like, nice.
No.
But it's still pedophilia. Exactly.
It is,
It's
yeah.
still the both sides of that. I mean, yeah, Bill Cosby should go to jail for, drugging and raping women. And if Lena Dunham did commit adultery or pedophilia, then she too should probably go to jail. I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
That's just the law.
That should just
the
be
law.
how the law is, right? Yeah.
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 It's
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as the meme says, she admitted it, but I don't know anything about it. Maybe she.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should read up on that.
Yeah. I just thought figuring out. Hey, this is like a nice rough one to start with.
Yeah, chat, if you want to Google this while you're checking us out, give us some details. Tell us what the...
Thank you, RZR Panda. I also forgot to turn on the sound. I know it's so professional.
it's okay. Mine is running smooth as silk.
Good. Well, this
Kendall flexing.
I haven't done a multi-stream like this yet, so there's so many like things. I mean, you guys know streaming, you have to do like this step and this step and this step and then this step, and I can do it myself, but like I only fucked up like 3 things right now doing mine, so it's fine.
It's all... The first time you do it, you always forget 1,000 things. I have a 2 drinks in scene that I don't use because it's
Yeah.
not fully built, because I forgot everything. I forgot sound, I forgot audio, I forgot video. It's... You kind of just make it up and figure out what you fucked up and learn.
You do, yeah. And I normally don't do this kind of setup. I'm very happy to do this with you guys, but like normally it's a different process.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is our experiment. So
Scorpion. Gonna
he wants me to do
there.
take a shot. He's not getting it. I'm not doing another shot tonight. I can't get too crazy. I got bad last night. I have to work
you?
tomorrow, and I worked out today and I hurt. So, and he's also my nephew. I can fucking tell him no whenever I want.
No means no. Always.
No means no.
my-
Okay. So what's the next meme?
All right, so the next one, let me pull it up here. Share. So, when a man has a job, his own car, and his own house, he cooks, cleans the house, and he takes care of his own affairs. What can you offer him besides sex?
Why do you have to offer him anything?
Compassion, companionship,
Well, yeah.
friendship.
But,
What do you offer any person?
Yeah. I mean, respect, kindness. Like, why do you have to fucking offer anything, though? Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to. If you don't have to offer up something just because you clean. Now, everybody deserves respect
Yeah.
and kindness, I think, but
Yeah.
you don't have to necessarily be like, "Oh, I owe you this."
Yeah. You don't
Not
owe
be a
anybody
butthead,
anything.
but you know.
No, you're not being a butthead at all. That's a fucking valid answer. That's I think the correct answer. You don't owe anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to be like, "Oh, this guy is doing life, I guess. He is being successful at not being insufficient at things, you know? Like you don't have to be like, "Oh, this guy is doing all this stuff. I need to reward him even more." Like you don't. He's got it. What do you offer him? A hearty handshake and a high five. Good on you.
Well, this is talking about a relationship, right? This is them talking towards women, right? That want to be with them. Remember, it's not friendships, right? Remember, this is what these are towards, just like the feminist ones were towards guys looking to be in relationships with them.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make the point of like, well, if I could do everything, why do I need you, right? It's coming from that position.
Okay, so
I can do everything. Why do I need you? Right now, I'm just gonna try to play the worst devil's advocate I can here.
you can play the devil's advocate. Like the answer to that is exactly what Reg said. Is that you don't owe anybody anything for like if they're like, "Oh, I can do everything. What do I need you for?" It's like, well, you can love yourself. I mean, that's fine. But if you want companionship with somebody else, like it shouldn't be the question of like what can somebody offer me. It should be the question of what you can offer to somebody else.
Yes.
All right, that's JFK, right?
Well, it makes sense, right? Like
It works. Right?
good selfless people should think outwardly rather than inwardly. Like you shouldn't Mr. Rogers, Steve Irwin, Bob Ross, all the people in the world who we look and idolize as the greatest people, who are the nicest people, never asked for anybody to do anything for them. They asked people to do something for somebody else. Like, it was never like, "Oh, woe is me, you need to help me, you need to offer me things." It's like, no, fucking take care of a crocodile, paint yourself a picture, and be kind to your neighbor. Like, that's the thing that you ask for those people who are, like, the most successful should be going for other people.
Yeah, I would love to get like a super MGTOW and a super feminist in here together, so they can just hash it out.
I mean, we're a discussion. We're not Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, yeah.
The helmets.
Outlander! We have your woman, Outlander!
Good. Okay. I was just checking. Sorry, I was doing a thumbs up to my chat because just making sure we didn't sound echoed.
Okay.
Making sure.
Am I good?
All right. So that one, yeah. I mean, if a guy's put together, then it's like, what are you? I mean, then the question would be back to the guy. So what are you looking for? And if you're whatever you're looking for, then and if someone can offer that, then you're set.
Yeah.
It kind of gets down to that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one, that's that one for me.
There you go.
As far as I can think about it. All right, so let's do at least one more, and then let's hit that question.
Sounds good.
This is from a stand-up comedy from Chris Rock. I actually watched this one.
Oh.
But this is going to be a picture about it. So, women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something.
I do love Chris Rock.
I do too. Oh, thank you for the follow. Okay, you guys go first. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Let me put it back up there so you can keep looking at it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I just want to make sure before I say anything.
Adam, what do you want to go with? What do you want to say?
So women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we substantiate that? So let's say in tragedies like Titanic, right? Women and children first. That's just like a saying in Western civilization for quite some time. I
Yeah.
mean, for ages, women and
Sure.
children first, right? I'm sure. Well, nowadays dogs would be within that. Dogs weren't that important.
Yeah.
Those
Well,
three.
dogs are pure boys though. Like you can't.
Yeah. Love doggies.
Yeah.
Cats,
I mean,
cats were like idolized in history too a lot.
yeah, yeah. Cats were super. Yeah. So we can say that there's definitely when it comes to like danger and even war, it's women and children first, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you that.
So that part isn't wrong. A man is
Yeah.
only loved under the condition that he provides something.
I don't
So
think
there is a truth to that. I mean,
Mhm.
what a man who like people always make fun of like we were talking about with Pink, the guys who just like sit in the basements of and like they're like creepy. They have like they're creepy to girls online
Yeah.
and they're like they have that wrong part of dark humor. Like that man isn't providing anything and he's less valuable than a guy who's out there working or he's a veteran or he has a job or he has a business or he's just a decent human being that just has whatever job, right? He is more valuable than the person who's not providing anything from a
Yeah.
social economic stance. He's paying taxes and you would think more likely he's a kinder kind of person. He's less perverted, he's less creepy.
Yeah.
And then he would be more valuable to a woman. I mean, if I had a daughter, I would like get the guy with the job, not the guy in the basement creeping
True.
on the OnlyFans. So
Yeah.
Is a man only loved under the condition they provide something? Most by say this is a relationship. I think to start a relationship, he has to provide something. There's no reason to get in a relationship with someone who doesn't provide anything for you. I just don't see that happening. I would never want Reagan to be with a guy who just doesn't provide shit. You know, that wouldn't be good. I wouldn't want that for her.
It would not be good.
Yeah. I mean,
this is tough, but I don't see how this is wrong. Like, I'm sure we can take out some parts of it, but this is mostly right and it's wrong.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see that it's right. Like I'm gonna be devil's advocate on the other side on this, to try to kind of be like, yeah, but like kind of everybody offers something in a way. Women offer something, children offer something, dogs offer something.
Dogs are the best.
Yeah, like but when you say they have to offer something, I think that is the difference where it's like unconditional, you know. Like, there's no condition to love a dog. It's just a dog. Like, you don't have to, but, like, you love it anyway because it gives you that companionship of being a loyal and fun dog. Like, children, your own children, you love unconditionally because you created them. And whatever problems they cause are really more an extension of yourself teaching them. And now you have to, train and teach the next generation to be the perfect way. They're never going to be perfect because they just don't know, you know, and until you get them to a point where they can start understanding, and that speaks more volumes of you as a parent or you as an adult. I think between women and men, it should be both sides that we love each other unconditionally. Like, we're not asking for a man to have a job. We're not asking a woman to provide that love and companionship. I think it's just something for both people. Like, that both people should just be for each other in a way that, like, they find things that they don't have to find. You know, I'm not forcing somebody to have a job to support me. I'm not forcing somebody to provide a car, provide a house, take care of themselves. I can take care of me. And if the person that I'm with is able to just provide love, friendship, respect, appreciation.
Yeah.
Those things like that come naturally from if you're being a good person to somebody, that somebody reacts positively back to you. That should be what it is in an unconditional manner. And I think that happens sometimes for man, but in like what showed in most media and everything else, it is the man who is, the hero of the story. It is the man who, women and children first, because that comes from the idea that men can survive horrible situations better than a woman could. Yeah, exactly. That's stoicism. But we can talk about sexism and tragedy after we get done for the Raptors. But it's just, it's that's the way it's been so long, that patriarchy has taken over for so many years, and we are just now within the last 50 years that we have even a scent of women being leadership and women being in charge and men being okay with it.
We've had women leaders in the past.
We've had women leaders, but we still have too many men who are against the idea, or who don't think women are good enough leaders. And we still have women who think that women aren't good enough leaders against men. Like, how many people during the last election were like, I don't think Hillary's going to be a good president because she's a woman? Women were saying that a lot, because they have this idea that they've been pushed down so far as women that they're like, I'm not going to be good enough, so obviously she's not going to be good enough, which is never the case. It should never be the case. But we have so many people in society, especially Western society, well, I should say actually, especially Eastern society, like China, Russia.
We're not finding feet right now, thank goodness. We've never done that here.
Yeah. But I mean, in those societies, women are seen as secondary to men.
Even in Japan still.
Yeah, Japan very much still.
Yeah.
They're not as bad as they used to be, but it's still there.
Yeah.
No. There's always the higher class men and women will always degrade the lower class men and women. I mean, that's a lot of a class warfare than even a sex warfare, right?
Well,
I mean, and that's how it is a lot of the time. Men and women suffer together throughout history.
Yeah, but I think this goes back to where we still talked about with a few people who were asking, like, a woman can't get her tubes tied for not having sex or for not producing anymore unless they have a man's permission.
Oh, men, that also happens for men in some states too. I looked that up. So it happens for both men and women.
Yeah, but a lot of the times with me and my wife, if she has a medical problem, they still come to me to ask me about her medical problems that I have nothing to do with.
Really?
Like, they're like, are you sure that you want your wife to do this? Like, is your husband home? Like,
and you're like, it's her decision.
Yeah, I was like, it's her body. Why are you asking me? Like, that's not my problem. It's if she wants to get this taken care of, take care of it. But ask her if she wants that done. Like, my opinion is non-consequential here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I still think that the quote is still, that's what we're saying is good, but the quote is generally true. Men are more valued if they can actually provide something, and I don't think that's just patriarchy. It's just something socially made. It's also biology. We were a little bit bigger by enough of a percent that we were out there to go hunt, right? So to speak, and then so we had our roles that helped us survive for whatever millions of years of evolution. Great. Now we can change them, right? Now we don't have to survive and find water and fight a dinosaur,
I don't know. I still need a warrior woman whenever the zombie apocalypse hits.
Look, I love Xena.
I do too.
It's all Lucy Lawless. Oof, So I'm with you there.
Greg says, if you love someone, you want things for them to be. You want them to be happy, and you're not so concerned about how they make you feel. You are not so concerned about how they make you feel. You just want them to be happy. I agree with that. I mean, I was gonna say some of what Kendall said. Like, it's true, but you just want. I don't know. You just want you want your other person to be happy, and it's not about a woman. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Well,
I guess you know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. You just.
I mean, it should just be if you're in a relationship as a partner.
Yeah.
Like you should. This is what I say like all the time. Like you shouldn't be doing anything really like in a relationship where you're thinking really about yourself and being like you should be selfless. You should be
selfless.
You should be giving to the other person what best you think you can give to them. You know, the gifts that you can give. And if you're in a healthy relationship in a way that you're, letting yourself be vulnerable to somebody's going to be vulnerable back to you. And they're going to give you their gifts. And there are times that you are fragile and that you just need somebody to give you those, like take care of you. But you've given enough of yourself that somebody's going to give back to you in a way that, like, you can only do so much. And if you're with a good partner, that person's going to understand that, like, hey, this person's fragile for a lot of these things. We should probably, like, I'm going to take care of them, but at the same time, they're going to support me and do things for me that is within their realm. Like, that's what should be expected.
Yeah. It shouldn't be about anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to disagree with Greg's technical vocab, but agree with the spirit of what he's trying to say.
I disagree with your grammar, Greg. It's called a comma.
But it's like if you love someone, you want things for them to be happy, etc. Yes, 100%. You're not so concerned about how they make you feel. No, that's not true. I don't believe in happy wife, happy life. We know that's a fallacy.
Yeah.
But this is what Kendall was more talking about.
Yeah.
Where I would say, if you love someone, you want things to be constructive for them and constructive for you. That's how I would say that more, because happy is also a loaded word in our society. You could be in a great relationship. It doesn't mean you're always gonna be happy. Sometimes you guys are screwing like crazy. Sometimes you guys are on a lull. But as long as everything's constructive, you're going through the ebb and flows of a healthy relationship, and you're dealing with each other, you're doing the communication that we talk about and all those things, then that's what matters, but not happy. Because if you're so focused on happy, you eventually you're addicted to one feeling. You're gonna get used and used up. That's what happens. So happy,
utopia is a fallacy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Happy is not real in that sense on this. I always had to be happy. You know how you're always happy? You jump from one relationship to the other and only be in the honeymoon phase. Yeah. With multiple people forever. That's being happy in the brain biologically. And I mean, if that's what you want, cool, but like, is that going to be constructive for your life? Happy and constructive aren't the same thing.
No.
That's where I'm saying I'm agreeing with the sentiment. I'm just disagreeing with the words. That's what I'm saying there.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this one before, where if you want to grow as a person, you need to be uncomfortable. You need to get into an uncomfortable state, and especially if you're a partner, that your partner not so much agrees with everything you do, is not a yes person, and doesn't make you mad. It's challenges your mind. Like somebody who can challenge you in a way that is constructive to you as a person. Now, they're not trying to change you completely so that you fit better for their like society or better for their needs, but it helps you grow as a regular person. Like, you don't know how to cook, so they try to teach you how to cook, like they tell you, like, I'm going to teach you how to do things. I'm going to get you out of your comfort zone of what makes you comfortable, to take an introvert out, to take an introvert and take him to a party, or take him just to meet friends or something like that, or have an extrovert just have a night in and get them out of their comfort zone, where it's like, your energy is always up here, but what is it like to just sit back, relax, have a glass of wine with just one person, and feel the happiness of appreciating a little bit of introversy, because I'm an introvert and you're an extrovert, and we can mesh that way. So that's some of the few things that a lot of people, when they're like, I'm an extrovert, I'm going to go for an extrovert. I'm an introvert, I'm going to go with an introvert. Like, you kind of,
at that point.
You don't grow. Like, you have to mold. You have to, as Bruce Lee say, be like water. It can flow and it can crash.
Yeah.
So
I like it. Oh, loosely. All right. So you guys want to do the first question that we got?
Sure.
yeah,
All right. All right. So I'll read.
Shay
I'll read
Shay
the
is
second-
loving it. By the way, Shay is 100% feels it. So
Oh yeah.
Really?
feeling the ideas. He's telling me is we got to change your emotional output on a lot of these things, and it makes sense for 100% of what we're saying. So I'm glad he's getting it.
All right.
Let's go into
So
the
here's
first question.
First question. So it was titled, "We will never speak to our parents again." Hello, 2 drinks in. We need your advice. I've been with my girlfriend for over 4 years, and things are going great. We're both working on our degrees and have very little money since we're both in school, but we have a bright future together, and we really appreciated being in the struggle of studenthood together. She is my rock, and I get to be her rock. I
Okay.
love that part. That was nice.
Yeah, I like that too.
A few months ago, our parents finally met for a COVID birthday party. Everyone got along, and it felt great to be able to share some things together with our families. Last week, my mom and her dad came down to visit, and we went out for dinner. At dinner, they told us that they had been dating ever since the birthday party, and they got married. I'm dating my fucking legal stepsister. We have vowed to never speak to them again. Selfish doesn't even cover how low these people are. What am we supposed to do? Do we break up? Can we get married? What does this do to our relationship? My girlfriend and I don't want to break up because of this. Any ideas from you would help because we don't know what to do. SNN.
It's a very complicated situation.
Yeah, this isn't like the first time I've heard of a story like this.
Oh.
So here's the thing. Like, I don't know if anybody was old enough to remember this, but MTV, you remember MTV? They used to play music. Well, they had a show many years ago called Undressed, which is essentially, 2 drinks in, but the TV show. And one of the stories is a brother and sister who they were dating, and their parents got married. And now they live in the same house together. They're still dating, but then they're like, oh, we can't date anymore because it's now weird because we're brother and sister. And so they try going on like a double date and going out with like other people. And then they're like, I don't want to be with this other person because I wanted to be with you. It's selfish of them,
Yeah.
The story I don't know about, like, how are you going to marry somebody and not tell your kids? Like, that's the one thing that kind of got me about that story, where I was like, how are you going to secretly, one, start dating your boyfriend's dad or mom, and then 2, marry him without a word?
Shitty people happen to be people's parents too. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's really and the couple was together first.
Yeah, they got dibs. Dibs.
And I would, if I was in that situation, I would not. I don't think they should stop dating. If they're still in love, they still love each other, then no. Like they're not blood related.
No, they're not going to 3 children. That's fine.
No. So I would be like, no, I'm gonna, if I'm still feeling it, I would still date that person, whether we had the same parents now or not. It's like, that's not fair. I mean, they can call me selfish all they want, but like, I don't know. I would continue to do it if my heart was still in it.
Yeah.
I would be disgusted by my parents, but do whatever you feel is right, because everybody has a different definition of right and wrong. I personally don't think it's wrong.
Yeah, like for the couple in question here, I agree. I think that they, as long as they still have this relationship, they get to be a rock for each other, as they said, and they are supportive. I don't see where the problem is for them. Now, the conversation is with the parents and that you're never going to talk to your parents again, that is...
I think that's worth... that's a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, the parents... that's a lot of soul searching on their part. I mean, in the same vein that we're dealing with the children in this situation, I think for the adults, and we're still dealing with adults in their relationship, I'm like, hey, good on you for finding somebody that you want to do that with, but you should have at least said something to the people in your life who kind of have a credence in this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that your children should have some kind of like understanding. Like, they don't get to tell you how to live your life as well, but in the same vein, they are your children. You are now bringing somebody new into their lives in a relationship that is going to affect them as a parent, and that's where it becomes a completely different scene. Like, sure, you're now dating your daughter. Like, I've seen this porn, but it's whatever you guys got to do. But I think that like the conversation would have to go differently, and it's probably going to take a very long time for you guys to meet for Christmas to really talk about like, hey, that was a shitty thing you guys did. And they go, oh well, yeah, I know, that was pretty shitty of us.
Yeah.
My God, that doesn't cover it. You know what though?
They met because of their kids.
Yeah, and the kids have been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like a serious relationship. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, the parents, they're gonna be fucking divorced here within 2 years. That's my prediction. Because you know what, they got together out of like an aberration or a perverse fetish of like, this isn't allowed, right? This is kind of the same idea where like if you have like teenager and you tell them no, you can't do that, they will do it, and then when they get to do it, it doesn't have that same effect anymore.
Yeah.
These two people, so they're gonna get tired of each other. The intensity is gonna leave because they know that they were under the pretense of doing something wrong. That's why they kept it a secret, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna fade. So those parents piss me off. Like, they piss me off. I just, they're not gonna last. That's not the foundation of a lasting relationship.
No.
You guys, S&M, you guys are actually building the foundation of a lasting relationship. You guys are broke as shit. You guys are trying to build a future together. You've been together for 4 years. So I'm gonna imagine you're in your 20s to mid 30s, right? Because you guys are in school, so you could be going for a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate. Doctorate takes you into your 30s, right? So you guys are doing the actual legwork. Maybe they were jealous of you guys. Parents can get jealous of children, it's just human to human. Maybe maybe this is their way of trying to destroy your relationship out of jealousy or envy. That shit happens. Parents are just humans. They're not immune to anything. They're not any different. Who fucking knows? Who knows what this is? Don't try to figure out your parents. The hell with that. I think you're doing the right thing by putting a great distance between you guys, because you should. You're not obligated to your parents, especially when they betray you in that way. You guys should take care of each other. Now you both had to be each other's rocks when you're both are hurting. Like, this is beyond fucked up. So you guys keep doing your thing. You guys talk about it. If you need to go like get your own individual therapy, get your own individual therapy, because this is messed up. Like, so you can talk it out with someone and you're not overloading each other with it, because you're both spinning in this. Get a couples counselor just so you guys can work this out. I don't know if this is going to bring up. We don't know what this is bringing up for you guys. And make sure you guys are still going to school. Don't stop going to school. But
well, I don't think that's going to be a question for them.
No,
I think
I'm just saying it's exhausting, right? You get so depressed, you can stop doing what brings you pleasure.
Well,
right?
I
so
would
just be aware of that, and then I wouldn't break up. You stay together, and I'm sure you guys can get married. And like I said, your parents they're not gonna last that long. That's not gonna happen. I guarantee it.
I mean, it's gonna be very awkward when your dad walks you down the aisle now. I mean, if that became a question later, is it that your dad or is it your mom's dad? Which dad is that? Is it your brother dad?
Hell with that shit, man.
My two dads.
That's so weird.
It's weird. It is. To the couple.
I would feel betrayed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just exactly what Shay is saying. Wish them the best. Keep being there for each other. Well, I'd say keeping there for like as you are the rock for each other. Now you more than ever you got to be a rock for each other to really just like we are going to be our own people. We don't need to talk to our parents. Like that's fine. We can just go do our own thing. They can live their lives. We're going to live our lives. You're still going to have happy, healthy relationships if you just remember to be there for each other, which is the most important thing for all relationships. Just 1 and 2. You don't need any outside forces to tell you how you should appreciate somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to say the parents did this. I'm pretty sure these kids didn't have the greatest of relationships with their parents beforehand.
No.
Or the most so this is a long line of things that this happened. This isn't just like everything was great and then suddenly my parents decided to do this. Like this is a long history.
Yeah. I mean, just shitty parents, man. We all got them. We all got them.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah,
them.
we do.
Is this a moment for all of us? Or are we all thinking of like, God damn, we all have
Fucking shit, I know.
fucking dad.
I mean,
One baseball
did-
game.
have I told you guys, like, my mom, I love my parents, I do, and I am an only child, but my mom has dated this guy for, oh my God, 10 years or so. Like, she met him through my high school job, my very first job. She met him. He worked with me, and he's a year older than me.
Damn.
And I'm just, at first, I was like,
Wait, so your mom's dating like a 29-year-old now?
he's like 30, 31. He's like a year and a few months older than me.
Wait, were you
Nice.
into him at all at any point?
What?
Were you ever into this guy?
No. No,
Okay.
I was
like,
friends with him, but no, I was not into him. I just worked with him.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be very awkward. It's like, yeah, I was very into him, but now he's my dad. It's like,
Yeah, you didn't get like Stacy's mommed right there, you know? Oof.
Yeah, no, I was no. I've never been into him, but he, for one, he's an idiot. I mean, he's a good guy, but like she can do so much better. But they've had like cat fights, you know, this entire time, and I'm just like, why are you with him? He doesn't make you happy. Why are you with him? Like, she divorced my dad when I was a kid, and they're still friends, which is weird. I have a really weird situation.
they're cordial with each other.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
they're very cordial. Like it's just weird. They live across the road from each other because I'm from a very
Small town.
fucking hillbilly town. Yeah, so it's weird. They're friends. It's very weird.
Yeah. Oh, she just.
But anyway, yeah, I just thought I would say that because
Okay.
at first I was like, "What are you doing?" Because he's like my age.
It's a
right.
small town, right?
Speaking of yelling at people younger than you, don't tell me to go to sleep. You fucking go to sleep. I'm an adult here.
Who's saying to go to
My
sleep? Hold
my
on.
my 17-year-old nephew is telling me to go to sleep. I'm like, how dare you? It's a school
What's up,
night.
Pink? What's up, Pink? Yeah, go to bed, Scorpion.
Go to bed. I'm gonna start talking about Nana. You're gonna be mad. Like, so my mom divorced my dad many years ago. I don't talk to my dad anymore because there's too many times where he just stopped showing up to things, you know?
Lovely.
Well, because it was like, hey, I'm graduating from basic training. He went to my stepbrother's basic training in North Carolina. Didn't come to mine. Okay. Hey, I'm graduating college. Didn't show up. Hey,
What was
I'm.
his reasoning?
His reasoning was he just couldn't. He didn't want to travel. So I like gave him the benefit of the doubt for like the first two. The third one was the unexcusable one, where it was my wedding. And I was like, hey, the wedding's next week. I expect to see you there. And he was like, oh, I have to work. I can't get that day off. And I was like, what do you mean you can't get that day?
can't
Your
ask
son is getting married and you just
Yeah.
can't. He's like, well, I just started this job. I don't want to cause waves. I'm like, it's on a Saturday. You can get off. Like, you can take the time. And he just
Yeah.
decided not to. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to let you do you. I have my own happy life. My mom since remarried, and I have my stepdad was the guy who taught me how to shave. He taught me how to drive. He taught me how to do like all those things. And I'm like, this guy is, stepped up. Because when my mom got divorced, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. So this guy took in a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old right out of the blue into his tiny home and put us somewhere. So I was like, this guy kind of like, he was never a father, but he stepped up to be a father hard. And so I was like, there you go. Like, I still have a dad, And he took care of us. He took care of my friends, and it ended up being better. And I was like, okay, I'll go with this. Like, I still tried to maintain cordial ties with my dad, but then after a while, I was like, you don't need to. You get to a point where you just go, you don't need to be a part, like, here. Like, we can just go. It's fine. Like, it doesn't. He doesn't pay my bills. He doesn't take care of my children. He doesn't do any of that stuff for me. Like, I do that stuff. So just you just go off, and you don't need your parents to take care of you for the rest of your life, So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Oh boy.
I know, it's right. It's heavy. It's a heavy life that we live. But like, you learn a lot of good things, and you find the happiness of where you can find the happiness.
Yeah.
So
You gotta create that happiness, man.
Well, you have to.
exactly. I mean, it was hard when it first happened, but then as you look back, you're like, it actually turned out better that it happened this way. That like we got a better house and we got better people, and I got to meet better people doing this and learn different things. So, but
Yeah. So to S&M, I was curious, why did they put S&M? I was curious about their names and the S&M. Anyway, so S&M just fuck your parents. Like, fuck them. Like, make your own family.
Don't they're already taking care of themselves. You don't have to be. Don't make it that family.
To hell. Yeah. To hell. Yeah. Don't make it that much.
To hell with that.
Jerry Springer. Yeah, they already made it Jerry Springer. But yeah, to hell with them. Make your own family. Like, obviously, they have some serious super narcissistic issues and whatever. Like, I already talked about the envy and jealousy and how that's not gonna last. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Go make a good life. Like, you guys are lucky. You guys are making it through really hard times. Like, if you can make it together when you're poor and struggling, you could be each other's rocks. You can make it through anything, as per your experience right now. You'll make it through this ridiculousness that people don't normally go through.
Right.
So, you know what? Just use this as like
You have a story to tell.
You got a story to, if you ever want to tell. Like, Jesus, like, that's kind of painful as shit.
Did I ever tell you how my mom's my dad?
Yeah. But no, keep going. The hell with it. Keep going.
Right.
Just, you two do what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a fun one.
That
was very interesting.
That was super interesting. So, for me, I have to go see A Man About a Horse for like a minute. So let's take a quick break. We got more memes, more questions, more Reg's voice coming at you. So we're gonna go be right back. Don't go anywhere. Go get some drinks.
I'm just gonna stay right here. Warrior, how are you doing? Oh my god, I'm by myself! I need to get onto Regamer's chat because I have not been on his chat yet. I'm on the multi-stream, but I need to look and see if anybody's saying anything nasty. Poke. Hi, Arson! Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Henry. As long as you have both of us up, it's okay. It's okay. Oh yeah, we have a multi-stream. Here's the link. Hello? Why is it not working? I just used it. Literally just used it. There we go. Okay, it's just a slow pitch. There it is. Warrior, how are you? You're alive. You're calling me your dude, Warrior? My dude. How about dudette? I'm a dudette. It's okay. I'm on mobile, so I'm not going to be in the multi. It's okay. Too much work? It's okay. It's fine, Warrior. Thank you for showing up. I can't tell if that one guy was a fucking troll or not earlier, but I timed him out because, well, he followed me and I was like, hey, thanks for the follow. And then he was like, what did he say? Who the fuck
Give us
knows?
$5 for if you all did push-ups or something.
Yeah,
saw
and I
something like
was like, fuck off, dude. Yeah, fuck off. Eat a dick. Fuck off.
What's up, Warrior?
Oh, do that. Hi, Pink.
Seeing Pink. Yeah.
Sorry, we got a ton of nice people. We got Pink, Shay, Charlie James is in mine, hanging out. I mean,
What's up, Charlie?
all my traffic is hanging out in Reagan's stream, so I guess that's fine, you know.
Are they?
Well, most of the people, like, I'm sitting at like 8 viewers, I guess, on mine, but I mean, technically I got all your people. So
Yeah, we should have about the same.
yeah, so hi everybody.
6, I think. Where's the mall? We have a little small group.
That's fine.
Hi, Kakashi. What drinks? What are we all drinking? I just have Moscato wine. Very cheap ass wine.
I polished off coffee with coffee liqueur and rum chata.
Oh.
And I had some lemon yellow for my shot, and now I'm sipping Mountain Dew so that I can like wake myself up.
Yeah.
Yep. I had
What
my
are you
shot.
drinking, Adam?
I had my shot of Jameson. That's what I did at the beginning. And then I had my Bailey's and coffee, which is almost done because
Ooh.
I've been up for a while. And then for pleasure, I have my DiGiorno as always, which will always be DiGiorno.
One of these days, I'm gonna get that Cavassier. I got my Cavassier right here for the ladies' man. Ooh, it's a lady.
I should have water too, but nah.
Yeah, you should.
Whatever.
If you worked out today, you.
No, I have it. It's just kind of out of reach. I have like a whole 2-liter over there.
This city, Pink. This city.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
Next. I think next week or in 2 weeks we're gonna do the workout stream. I was talking to Jared about it today.
Nice.
The problem is that we can't do any of the music that we play, so we might do it as we work out and then we kind of just talk about it and we just show the recording and just like tell people about how we work out. Because we go a little different than a lot of people. Like, instead of just being like, hey, we're just doing lifts to get your back straight, we think about how that helps us in our daily lives and like how working your back helps your neck, helps your feet, your balance, and just being healthier altogether rather than being like, oh, this is going to give you big arms. This is going to make your butt look great. It's like, no, I really want to just move and be able to move without hurting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm back on my side.
Yeah,
Good.
we're all good. All right, you
I
guys
started
ready?
going, yes. Can I tell my little old lady story?
Do it.
Really quick? Okay. Speaking of the gym or working out, I started going back to the gym because I had COVID earlier in the summer. And, you know, I mean, everybody knows that. It's been on this channel since the beginning. And, so I started going back to the gym after a summer of absence, basically. And, I mean, my strength is still there. Yes, Henry, my old lady story. I started, like, my strength is still there, but I can just tell I gotta build back I just gotta build back some of the stamina, I guess. And I need to stretch more because after I hit the stair climber, which I love because I'm trying to build the booty back.
Right.
My right hip, like, there's shooting pains that goes from my right hip all the way down to my knee. And then I had it in my wrist the other day, and I don't know why, but that's my old lady story because I'm like,
I'm gonna share with you some of the stuff after in the Discord, like some of the exercises I do. It's gonna really help you. It's gonna.
okay,
I guarantee it. I
Please.
guarantee it. So, all right, my chat's yelling at me to say get back to the topic. So let's do it to it, Pack Your Hewitt.
All right. So here we go. We're gonna go back to these very strongly worded MGTOW memes.
Okay.
So here we go. There we go. The year is 2030, less than 10 years. Most men have sex bots. Women in desperation yell, "They don't love you like a real human being." Men whisper back, "Neither do you."
Everybody has a pocket pussy that will never love you.
2030.
Ah, it's a beautiful future coming up in about 10 years.
Yeah.
We have sex bots? I don't even have a bot that can like vacuum properly.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like that episode of Futurama where he like programs it to have like a Lucy Lou bot.
Oh.
Yeah, listen, those bots are real right now. So
Yeah, they are technically.
I
in
will
9
always
years,
remember
they're
you.
gonna be
Memory deleted.
I mean, like, this is my idea about it. I love capitalism. That it's never going to be my thing. But if guys want to start having sex bots, and women too want to start having sex bots, and
Sure.
you want to pull yourself out of the genetic pool, and you want to like,
Sure.
kill your bloodline and your DNA line, and you take yourself out of society, fucking go for it.
Do it.
This is how we clean up the genetic pool. That's how I see it.
Charlie brings up the point. It's like we don't even have flying cars, let alone have androids to screw with. Listen, if we're going to do anything for science, it's going to be so we can have sex with it.
Yeah.
This also is not Dragon Ball Z.
No. But I'm pretty sure Dr. Giro designed those androids to have sex with them. 95%.
I don't want flying cars ever in the hands of people. I don't fucking trust people like that.
No.
Jesus Christ.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I don't. I just don't. No. But you know what? I want the sex robots to happen, just so like we could just the guys.
Don't worry, it's gonna happen.
Can just be in your basement, man. It's a free country. It's a free
Sure.
world. Pay your taxes. Don't bother nobody. This would, and one positive thing about this is that it would destroy the sex slave industry too, which
Yeah, it
I'm
would.
all for it. I'm all for that, dude, because we'll get these creepy, lonely men, and they just get a sex robot, and then they'll never go to jail, right? They'll never go to jail.
They have a hand.
No, but come on. I mean, the sex robot, and they're gonna put the VR. Someone's gonna make so much. Anyone know who's building these so I can invest? Because this is a
Hewlett Packard, fucking Apple,
GE.
It's all well and good until it turns into a Five Nights at Freddy's situation where one of those sex bots rip your dick off.
You know what? It's gonna happen. That's why they'll have.
I'm sorry, did that get too real for you, Ray? Like the immediate, as soon as I said rip a dick off, your face went like.
I do threaten that. I do use that threat. Like if guys, like this is not exactly on topic, but like if I'm talking to a guy, and actually recently I had not met but like talked to a guy on Hinge, and I casually use it. We've been over this, but he's like, "Oh, hey, shawty," and I was like, "You don't fucking know me. Don't fucking call me shawty. Get the fuck out." And one of my girlfriends is like, most guys are gonna do that. You're not gonna really get away from that. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be alone. Don't fucking talk to me that way. Hey, cutie. Hey, baby. And then my point was like, I used the threat. I'm like, shut up. I'm gonna rip your dick off.
Yeah, just rip.
Yeah.
Work those
So
Kegels.
that didn't scare me.
That
It was
exercise
just
is
Five
the-
Nights at Freddy's that I was like,
Oh yeah. And so yeah, we got the questions like, so you mean people are gonna just have like a hooker in their closet if they have a sex bot? I was like, well, I mean that's the same thing. Like if you open up somebody's drawer and they just so happen to have like a fleshlight,
Yeah.
You know what? We need to get rid of the stigma of guys having sex toys being weird. Because you know what? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that is totally dominated by women. You go into a sex shop, it's like a quarter of a shelf for guys and then like as far as the eye can see for women of just all different types of dicks.
You just need a bigger selection is what you're looking for. Like,
No, but I'm just saying we have to unstigmatize it because guys will get shamed if they have sex toys, but like girls go around having fucking parties, like Tupperware parties with sex toys. Shit doesn't happen for guys. It can't happen for guys, right? So this is what I'm saying. You know what, guys? If it goes to the sex robots and that's what these guys need, freaking perfect.
hey, if you have the house for specifically a sex robot to be like hanging out in a closet, good on you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Pink is right. Pay your taxes, bang those bots. I mean, like, right there. Freedom. I would be like Merca for that. For sure. Merca.
That's Merca sex bot.
Yeah, buy American sex bots, not the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
Even though those are going to be very
I
popular.
was going to say the Japanese ones are probably better.
Yeah, they probably are. They're they run on electric. I'm pretty sure an American sex bot would run on diesel and would break down on you immediately.
No, American makes good products. I'm pro-American.
Well, it would also probably smell like Marlboro cigarettes and fucking.
They would love that, though.
Yeah, they would love that in like the deeper parts of the South and West Virginia.
And that's where they're gonna need it. No, they're gonna need it everywhere. I mean, the IT guys really need it more than the bumpkin guys. So I'm gonna be honest about that. The liberals will need it more than the conservatives.
I mean, would there be different models? Like, would it be like if you're in California, you get the Tiffany model, but if you're in
like the little Asian girl,
or you get the Betty Lou, you know what I mean? Who she's been there. Yeah. She's a little lower in the saggy areas and a little wide around there.
Dude, can you imagine like this is where like if you're just like wanting a girl, you can like make models of yourself and just sell them to people. You had like an OnlyFans, and make like $50,000 a pop on a sex robot that looks like you. Like fuck yeah, dude. Like go for it. Make that money.
I'm pretty sure Elon Musk will be the first one to come up with a sex robot.
Listen, look, I'm pro that because it stops the sex trade industry. It's going to stop the spread of many STDs. It's going to stop a lot of. It's going to reduce the amount of rape that we have.
Yeah.
Shit, we'll throw them into the prison system so men stop raping men and women stop raping women in the prison system. I'm down for that.
Yeah, go into the prison system and have a conjugal robot.
Yeah. Dude, why not? Why not? Why? Do you want guys to be raped more?
No.
All right, you're not going to. It's like the opposite of solitary confinement. Like, hey, Billy, you've been doing real good this week. Why don't you go get yourself some of that conjugal visit?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Warden.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I'm all for this idea because it takes people out of the gene pool. We don't want in the gene pool anymore because we've made life way too easy and people surviving that shouldn't be surviving, and it stops a lot of crimes. Until super liberals be like, robots have rights too, and they're alive too, and then it's just gonna be a fucking mess.
Yeah, but that's when we get Blade Runner.
Someone's gonna ruin it, of course. Someone's gonna, be like, robot, some stupid crap.
Well,
and then,
it's all well and good until one of them rips your dick off.
I'm pro this. Yeah. Well, that's the insurance, just like car insurance. The car.
You gotta get that insurance. Geico saves you 15% of your dick or less.
yeah, exactly.
That gecko is going to be a whole new kind of commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I got to catch up on chat here because I'm trying to bounce between the chat.
Oh, it's mostly the same jokes we're telling. It's worry about that electric STDs.
Yeah.
The Tesla fuckbot.
Yeah.
They'd come out with a new model every year for Apple. It would be like, the fuckbot S.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Apple would screw that over. They would kill your old bot with software.
Yeah, like you couldn't. Your charging port would change every year. You like the proper person would do it is like you charge it by doing like the motion inside the vagina or butt, depending on how you do it. Like as long as you keep that going. Of course, you also have to have it for like women, where you have a male sex bot.
Of course.
Where?
And no, I will not have a trunks one before anybody asks.
Yeah,
we wouldn't judge you if we did. Like if we showed up to your house and there'd be like a blue-haired sex bot going, like, oh, I guess it's all right then.
Perfect. Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna say I.
Already has her order.
She's like, I'm not gonna say I will, but you can donate to my tips page. It's right down there. It's coming. Before we go to space, we need to have sex with something.
Yeah, Reagan will come on the channel. And before she comes on the channel, she'll be like, guys, I don't need a boyfriend anymore. I'm good.
Yep, we're set. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if I got to recommend a movie. If anyone's seen the movie Large and the Real Girl, it's like an old.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, with a guy, he has a sex doll that he has a relationship with, and the whole town comes around him and like accepts it.
Isn't that the storyline to Mannequin?
Oh, I don't know. I never saw him. That Lars and the Real Girl is about helping him out of that, like his depression and his psychosis.
Oh, okay.
It's an uplifting movie. It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay.
So
and like acceptance.
Yeah. What happens when people accept something? It actually is very curative. It lets them out. So like he brings the sex doll to Thanksgiving, and they're very nice to the sex doll, and like it's a really sweet, touching movie.
Okay.
So recommend that movie. All right, so we're pro sex dolls here. We're the first. I'm sorry, no other podcast has talked about the greatness of sex dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I will neither confirm or deny those sentences, but
I'm gonna say we're the first.
We're into it.
We're the first. All
Take
right,
that, Joe Rogan.
All right, thanks. If Joe Rogan says any of this, but he copied us, we need some royalties. Yeah. Alrighty. So let's do at least like one or two more of these.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh, I don't like this one, so I'm gonna let Reagan say something about this first. This is a really fucked up one.
Man, I hate this one.
Yeah. Why do women put so much emphasis on their appearance? Because this is all they have to offer. And then on the bottom it has, let's see, here we go. Child support, alimony, palimony, false accusations, gossip, venereal disease, no interest, superficiality, mental disease, and manipulation. Yeah.
Okay.
This one's rougher than the feminist ones.
I think what makes me most mad about this is the font.
That's what I know. What the hell? Like,
it's very 90s. It's bad.
You can't even see it. Like, that's what I was trying. They have the picture of
girls. I mean, I think it's wrong. You know, we spend a lot of time. Most of us, not all girls, but we do spend a lot of time on our appearance. But we have a lot more to offer than our appearance. I mean, there are people in the world that, just like earlier, that there are some people that think, you know, men should, you know, bring home the bacon to, you know, so they say, like, men should be the hard workers and women should be the ones in the kitchen, you know, to take care of the kids, take care of the households. And there's also people that think, you know, women don't have anything to offer except to look pretty. You know, there's people that think that all over the world still, even though this isn't the 1950s. There's people that think that all over the world. I mean, I obviously disagree. I think most of us, I mean, there's some dumbasses in the world that don't really have anything else to offer, but I think, you know, or there's, I shouldn't say that, but there's some people that, you know, do not care to give anything to the world, anything to others, any knowledge, any education, help, you know, in any way, any form or fashion. I do not care. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, sorry. I think the women that do that, it's not that they don't give anything to the world. It's that they found a way to get their own, you know?
Okay.
That they found a way that, like, this works for me. I can actually be more empowering to myself by just being that way. Like, either putting on a facade or nothing has ever been challenged to them because of their looks, that men just kind of fall over themselves trying to provide everything they can. They just give, and give. And that that's just how they've been for years and years. It's always been given something where it's just like, hey, you're pretty. Here's $100. You're pretty. Here is a new car. Hey, you're pretty. Like,
that's a good point.
And really, they're just like, hey, I'm empowered by that, and
Yeah.
just being given something that they don't have to worry about, like, hey, I need to, figure out the cure for cancer or show
Yeah.
leadership skill. I'm getting what I want. I get to relax and live a nice, happy life, but I don't have to, like, be a great thinker about it.
Well, I'm gonna say it's short-sighted, and it's just feeding. It's a denial of, or it's short-sighted, and it's very egotistical and narcissistic of someone to say, "Oh, this is working for me, so never let me not ever develop any other skills." I mean, I don't know why that should even be respected. You're just going to be a shitty human being at the end, so that would be for the women who only rely on their looks, and that's for the men who only rely on ever making money and developing no other social skill, right? You can take either spectrum of that. You're just going to end up being a shitty person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think it
And
becomes
then
an
for the
echo
women,
chamber.
But I think for the woman, it's even worse because he can just continue growing his money and being a shitty person and getting away with it. And if she only has her appearance, she's gonna grow older. There's younger women always coming, so it's worse off. It's worse off in that in reality, right?
Yeah.
It sucks. It's not fair. It's not equal in that sense.
Well, it really puts it into the idea of, like, the woman having eternal youth, right? Where, like, everybody's looks fade. And the idea of, like, women have to look pretty because in their later years they're not going to be pretty because they're old or whatever. And the same thing for men, but men are the ones who, by their work ethic, can be old and still provide, like the difference.
There's women who will always take, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's why. Yeah, they could be an old piece of shit, but someone will always want a piece of the pie, right?
Yeah, because the new model rolls out,
Yeah, and they'll want something, of course. I mean, that's until society changes. That shit ain't gonna change.
Yeah. Well, that's the echo chamber that I'm talking about. Like, every woman who is in that kind of label where they do that are, the boss ass bitch to every other person who does that, where they're like, oh, that person's getting theirs, I'm trying to get mine, and we're getting ours. And the same thing for the men who, I'm providing, I got the top paying job, I make the money, and I can get these women and not have to care about it. I can just, I can roll through women. I can plow woman after woman and have a great night and move on.
He's a Chad. That
He's a Chad.
Tanzanian guy we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah. But, like, it's an echo chamber because there are other Chads in the world who see that and they're like, that's what I want. I want to just go plow through woman after woman and make all the money and drive my Lamborghini and move off, and I don't have to care about anything because there's nothing else for them to provide to the rest of society because they are narcissistic and they're going to think about really themselves. They're not going to have kids in a relationship. They're going to, like, be single forever and do that thing. They're not going to look for that meaningful relationship. They're just like, hey, I'm going to live life until I die, and I might die at the young age of 40, and, that's it.
Well, you know what? If that's what they want, cool.
Yeah, some of them
more power
don't.
to you.
I feel like some people don't care to search for those things, and I mean, that's them. That's
right.
on them.
I mean, I just think that a lot of people try to seek that when it's something they don't want, especially men. In the idea of, like, teenage boys in getting into those developmental years where they want the high paying job, they want the hot girlfriend, they want this, like, I want to be conqueror of all women.
Oh, come on.
You
Guys
know.
need a good paying job just to be noticed.
Yeah, but I think that it's so instilled in such younger boys that you need to go out and get girl after girl. That's the cool thing to do. That you can go ahead and do that. And I think we need to start instilling the idea of, like, a single-minded relationship or just loving you is way better than you going out there and getting your body count up,
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot more respect on that. I think it's becoming more of a popular opinion now that the internet is more calling guys out like that.
Yeah.
But there's still the echo chamber where you have the guys who are like, "No, bro, you got to get out there. You just get girl after girl, man. Like, don't even worry about. They're not even people. They're barely.
There's still people like that.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in the data, so this is for Gen Z. So this is, I think, like 24 and under. They're just graduating college and getting into grad school. So that generation, it's reversed. Guys are refusing to sleep around. They're refusing to marry. They're refusing to get in a relationship, and they're not being promiscuous at a great extent. And then the women are much more promiscuous.
Yeah.
And then they're also unable to get married. It's a total switch of like human history right now, and it's a lot to do with dating apps and a lot to do with a lot of movements. Like when the Me Too movement came out, this was already a trend with guys, but with younger guys, they're just like, fuck it, it's not worth ever going around with a woman. So they, because of necessity, survival necessity, they're like, we're ignoring women now. We don't even date. We're just building our businesses, and it's a crazy switch for the younger kids. Like I think 24, 25. Someone can look up what Gen Z is. But the thing is, marriage rates are dropping drastically also, and that's becoming that. And the weird thing is that the guys are waiting to marry into their 30s. This generation, they're predicted to wait to marry in their 30s. So there's this big gap of women who are like being ignored in this weird way. It's such a weird phenomenon. It's such a weird phenomenon. It's the first time we're watching this, and this also happened with late millennials, which would be where we're at, where we're like 27 to 35, 36. Yeah. It started with us doing that, but it's really hit this generation because we lived before the internet was big. Yeah. And then we came in with the internet, right? We're this transitional stage generation, and these the kids are only internet.
Yeah, we're the ones that have had to like advance through the changing.
Yeah.
Through the changes on the internet and through the advancements and everything.
Well, I think a lot of it was our high school developmental years, where like before. Like we didn't have internet before then. Like
we had dial-up in high school.
Yeah, there were like the social network did not exist until I got to college, and it was still like the Wild West.
Yeah, and we were the ones that used texting first.
Yeah.
Like Gen Z wouldn't know what to do without texting.
Or the way we used to text. You know how long it took to say some words.
You had to push a button 3 times.
3 times,
yeah.
and
and that's for one letter.
Yeah, so spelling the word "could" was a pain in the ass, man.
It was definitely like, I think it's always existed, that the want for women to be more promiscuous and everything else, and guys to be, more like, I'm focused on career and taking care of me. I think because we're able to have more of the social media contact where we're now talking into the ether of Facebook, into the ether of Reddit and Tumblr and all that, where we're not in our own little groups and our own little cliques anymore inside of our small cities. We're now able to speak to the world. And so me being in Pennsylvania, I'm talking to somebody in Boston who's having the same experiences I'm having. And it's like, wait a second, how is that possible where we're completely separated in the world? And with the social media now, it's now becoming more comfortable that a lot of people who are having these issues, these problems in their own mind, now feel more validated, that they can just go online and find somebody who is feeling the same way that they're feeling, but they haven't been able to express it. So that's one of those things that I think has really helped with a lot of like the Me Too movement, where a lot of women were scared to talk about them doing it because in their own little echo chamber, in their own little cliques, it was like, don't start causing waves, don't cause problems, because you don't want to do any of that because you still have to live here. And then you go out into the world and you're like, the world's a much bigger place and we are all having this problem. Hold up. Like it's what is really helping with these. And I think we're growing as people in a society when we can all come together and have that conversation to break borders, break boundaries, because it's not even just in America. This is, UK, Russia, China, everywhere. Well, everywhere. Every person has these feelings as humans. It's just that we've never vocalized it in a way that other people understand it.
Yeah, well, China doesn't have the social network we have. They get their communist country is really strict on that, so they're a little bit behind on that.
Yeah,
a little for sure. They're behind on it.
But I mean, there's more of a communication when like foreign exchange students come out and they go, "Hey, wait a second! Like, you guys have this out here," and they can start talking. And
as long as they're not, the Chinese government isn't putting them in some trains.
But can spread the information. Like so many Reddit posts where it's like, hey, who here's from North Korea who got out? And they got out and they realize what's happening in the rest of the world, and they're like, hey, wait a second.
Holy shit.
What do you mean Kim Jong-il didn't invent flying? Like,
Oh my god.
So...
Yeah, so listen, we should just never count on Social Security ever coming in for us. We're burning money every paycheck because we're not having kids. Well, Kendall did his job. He plus one.
I plus three.
Yeah, no, but you yourself, then you plus one. So you did a plus one for the human population.
Oh, yeah.
So you made three.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I proved that I've at least made it with a woman 3 times. Or at least I call them my little receipts.
Yeah. Exactly. But the generation after us and be our generation, we're not having kids. We're not. And I'm telling you, when we're 50, a normal relationship is going to be with robots. It's inevitable. And it's going to be guys pushing it more than anything else, and girls will have to catch up to it.
I don't think so.
Normal.
I honestly think that women will actually push for.
Women don't have to as much. Women are ahead of the game on the sex, the taboo of sex toys.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be the thing that pushes for women to be the one that really pushes more for sex dolls. That it's going
guys
to.
are going to make guys sex dolls.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it.
It's just easier. Just be honest, it's easier to make a guy sex doll. You just gotta make a hole that feels good compared to like not impaling a woman, right? It's a little bit different, Yeah. Because like a sex doll that's doing the acts of the guy, it's a bit more dramatic than like having a sex doll that can lay there.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Just from a technical standpoint, the sex doll for guys will come out first.
I mean, I can go ahead and get like a fuck machine and just strap it onto like a mannequin. This is similar to the idea.
It's fucking. But
I can stop. They have those little boxes at Build-A-Bear that I could just buy that and just like you press the button.
Listen, we know.
Are you close?
More dangerous for a
Are you there yet? How do you like that? And you just press the button. It's like that's you get jackhammer sex right there.
Oh.
And you can get a 15-inch thundercock for America.
Jackrabbit, no.
Yeah, then we talk about that with Jared, how awful that kind of sex is.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It's so bad. No.
That porn sex is the worst. Jesus.
How's that?
So bad.
Is that good? Are you close? Are you close?
Bad.
Almost?
No.
For anybody listening and not actually watching what's happening on stream, it's getting hot. So, doing a little mouth foley for people. All right, you got more memes, or we got another question?
I got one more.
I think we need to transition off.
Yeah, we have one more. I don't really like this one, but I saw it there. It was just kind of proved the point of how negative these guys are.
Pink's like,
I
nope,
want to be
not
fair.
hot.
I showed how negative the feminists were, so I got to show how negative the men.
Oh, you don't need to show that. We already know how horrible men are. We're disgusting pigs.
Women are terrible too. Both are terrible.
So men's in STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Women's STEM, selfies, tweeting, eating, and man-hating.
That's so... Why?
Yeah.
This is one of the guys who needs one of those sex robots.
Yeah.
He'll just get the poison out that way.
Yeah.
Okay,
This.
there's a lot of guys that like selfies, tweeting, eating, and women hating.
Yeah. This
It
guy.
goes both ways.
Like, if this is a
So
guy
stupid.
sharing this, you're
Yeah.
really like just proving the point here. Like, you're the exact opposite of like what you're trying to
Yeah.
prove.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ironic. It's truly ironic.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a projection. It's a projection onto a woman your own value. That's why I threw that one in there just because silliness.
The second I saw it, I felt immediate anger.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey man, that's why we need them to stop breeding. We
Well-
just need all these people to stop breeding.
Like-
What's that song? Stupid people are breeding.
sheep go to heaven, goats go to hell.
No, I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
Oh.
So high. Yeah.
Oh, what is
But
that
I'm
song?
not well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been so high that
Chris
I'm in
Ahmed.
hell. I don't remember the band name. I know it's from a Weird Al polka.
Something sit up flagpole. Is that flagpole sit up?
Ooh, that might be it. My phone's dead. I can't. Somebody
Yeah,
Google
chat.
that.
Chat,
Chat,
yeah, help us
go
out with
Google
that
that
one,
song.
chat.
You know the
Pink
one.
emoji.
I know Pink will.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
so many women are way more intelligent than men in many fields. That men have been like, well, we figured this out. We know exactly what it is. Like, we wouldn't have made it to the moon without a woman. We wouldn't have been able to fucking cure diseases without a woman. We wouldn't have been able to have radiation without a woman. We wouldn't have been able to do, 100% of anything without fucking women.
Why can't we just say like both men and women are important?
Harvey
There are
Danger.
dumbasses of both gender,
Yes.
and there are very smart people of both gender. It's like,
Yes.
why does it matter?
Because they're not having enough sex. That's why. That's why. So they gotta put their
Yeah.
angst out on the internet. So
Yeah.
sex robots. This is just gonna. I'm gonna come back to sex robots for everything.
But
We need it to just shut their fucking mouths. Cause you know what? If these guys gotta let it out every once in a while, their mouth just wouldn't open anymore. They would just be calm and in their
True.
zen and. it'd
but
just
like,
be
what
fine.
is this? But what does it prove when like a man or a woman, when you share these memes where it's just like men are useless or women are useless?
It's a circle jerk.
Well, like, what's gonna happen? Do you think
Yeah.
you're gonna share that and then a woman's gonna be like, you know what? He's right. I need to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
We should
I'm
sleep
it's happened,
with each
like,
other.
once. I'm sure
Well,
there's
yeah.
some legend that it's
Probably
happened once.
has,
So,
yeah.
Like, oh my god, he's so right. He gets me. Like, what? No.
Like, oh my god, such a dick.
He would love to. I'm sure some of them would love
Somebody
to.
would.
Just please
Flagpole
someone
sitter.
touch me.
Yeah.
I mean, sexual repression's real. It makes people do awful things. Let's just be honest about it.
I just.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the song was Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least I got the name.
Danger.
Yes.
Harvey Danger. All right, you guys ready for this second question here?
Yes.
I don't even know if this is really a question. I think this is. Let me not give my opinion. Okay.
Okay.
So the title is Girlfriend's Mother is Our Landlord. My girlfriend and I had been together for 2 years. When we were looking to move in together, her mother was moving out of his house and told us that we could move in with no lease, it's pet friendly, and we'd just be paying the mortgage.
Okay.
I thought that was a sweet deal. Okay. We decided to move in and thought that having her mother as a landlord would make things safer and cheaper in caps. The rent was actually higher than what the estimated rent was to be when we were looking at Zillow. And Zillow is just a website they go to see like what your mortgage would be, the value of a home, and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more than what the mortgage was. The reasoning we got for this was unexpected maintenance. So it seems like the mom was charging an unexpected maintenance fee within their rent.
Okay.
She is also scattered brain and agreed to pay water and gas for us since it's next to nothing. And in all caps, guess what? The water was shut off on us because there was a caps mistake when paying the bill for the last few months. Bullshit in all caps, I thought. The water company has been doing this forever, and there's no way there was an error when paying. Without any of these dumb broads' knowledge, I called the water company and learned that she hadn't paid the bills for 5 months and proceeded to lie about it. Then I now a lie about it. And then I now am the handyman around the house, and the repair expenses come out of my pocket. And I am always seen as a dick for speaking out since the landlord is my girl's mom.
Okay.
I've started to refuse to fix anything, which has resulted in windows that don't lock, knobs that don't turn, and the deck that is one soft blow from toppling over. She has known about these problems for months now and doesn't do anything about it. I love my girl, but I think I need to remove myself from this situation. What do you think?
It sounds like you got a shitty landlord.
Yeah. But
Like,
how would he remove himself from that situation? In what way?
Oh, that's easy. He just goes and without saying anything,
breaks up with his girl.
No. He will go find his own place first.
Yeah.
Do first and last, because I'm imagining you didn't pay first and last for this place, right? So say you do have that money. When she's at work, you freaking pack your shit up, get it out to your new place, and then when she gets home, you say, "Hey, I can't do this anymore. We're done," and leave. That's the cleanest way to do that. But he's a dickhead, dude. He called them both
broads.
dumb broads.
Dumb broads.
Yeah, he doesn't need to say that unless it's like, do you still care about your girl? Like, her mother aside, do you still want to be with her?
That's something. There was something about how he wrote this whole thing where it's like, it's just an excuse to go and to say how awesome I am. Like the exaggeration of like, windows are just not closing and doorknobs are just not turning. It's like, shut the fuck. I know you wrote, I appreciate your letter, but like you're bullshitting us, and I'm just going to let you know that you're exaggerating something. And if you want to get out, this is a good reason to leave a relationship, and you don't want to deal with feelings, you just want to blame her mom. Then go, like save the girl the problem, save it just I'm not saying that the mom is innocent in this. She didn't pay the water bill for 5 months. That's fucked up. Like, I gotta give you that. That's really fucked up to do.
Yeah.
But then just get out, man. Go. You save some money for a couple months or whatever. Go get your own place and live on your own and pay your own bills, and don't worry about this. And lesson learned.
But it was supposed to be cheaper.
Yeah, if that's what he wants to do, fine. Be a coward, because that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to deal with his feelings. But how about you grow some balls? You have some have communication skills. How old are you? You're probably at least fucking 21, I would say. You're a legal fucking adult, I would say. And you need to communicate. That's the first rule of being an adult. You need to communicate. How about you communicate with your partner and her mother? You should not lump them into the same.
Right.
You can have an evil mother-in-law and an evil father-in-law, I say, and still love the person you want to, their daughter, their son that you want to be with.
Right.
You don't have to lump them in the same category, and just because you don't get along with their parents, you can still be with them. I mean, do you want to, if you still want to be with her, you need to tell her what you're thinking. This whole shenanigan that you just told 2 drinks in, you need to tell them, or you need to tell her that. And
don't call her a dumb broad though. In the middle of that, don't do that.
Broad.
Yeah, don't do that. Like,
no, that's rude. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. Name calling is
never good. If you really think she is a dumb broad, then get out and don't waste her fucking time.
Don't waste yours either then.
Yeah, don't waste anybody's time. If you're going to call anybody a dumb broad. First off, what is this, 1920? What are you fucking Dick Tracy? Who does that? Don't fucking do that. These dumb broads over here.
Dumb broads.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Like, okay, let me break it down. Like, if you're moving in, first off, if you're gonna have anybody as your landlord, even if it's your mother-in-law, get everything in a fucking contract.
Yeah.
If she's not paying, save your checks. Like, if you're writing a check to her, and you're like, hey, here's all my checks that I wrote to her. She owes you the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go after her. Okay, we're going to move on. And the handyman shit, if you own the house and your landlord's not fixing something, first off, you're going to ask your mother-in-law to fix anything that you know that she can't fix anything, or hire somebody to fix anything. If you're going to be the handyman, learn to be a fucking handyman, because guess what happens when you buy a house? You're the handyman.
Well, to be fair, it's not his responsibility. He was.
It's not, but like
we're getting like coming out of his pocket. No, that's the landlord's
you put it on a receipt. No, you put that on a receipt. And anything that you buy for a house that you rent, this is for anybody. Anytime you do something, you go to the landlord and say, "Hey, I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to pay my own money to fix this problem, because after I leave, you're going to use this to sell to your next tenant."
Yeah.
You reimburse me a certain percentage, or you reimburse me off of my mortgage payment, whatever it is. You know, you keep those receipts, and that's what you do. But when what my cohorts here are telling you is what I'm probably going to tell you, the same thing. You're trying to use us as an excuse to get out. You already have it in your mind that you want to get out. We know that. And the way that you wrote this, you want to leave. And yet you want validation from us to tell you to leave. That way you don't feel so bad when you do it. You know, like, hey, I wrote this relationships podcast and they told me to get out. Listen to this. They told me to leave. We're telling you to leave for yourself. Like, the mother can still give the house to the daughter so she can live there, and they can figure it out. Let them live their lives and whatever. That's between them. For you, what Adam said, save up some money, clear out, but then reevaluate yourself for a while. Like, it's one thing to be like, okay, so I need to get out because this is a shitty relationship. It's not a shitty relationship between you and your girlfriend. It's a shitty relationship between you and the landlord that you're taking out on your girlfriend. Because your girlfriend might not be having the same thoughts as you, where it's just like, okay, it's my mom, you know, I've lived with her, like, basically she gave us a place, we just have to do basically what happens in any other place when you're under tenant. But like, you need to not take it out on her if there's a problem with the mom, and have the communication. Like, you can salvage this. You can certainly have the conversation with your girlfriend and be like, hi, your mom is doing this, and we need to talk to her about that. And if your girlfriend is like,
agree with it.
If your girlfriend's like, yeah, wait, I see that, let's go talk to her and see what it is. And then your mother-in-law is like, well, you've been doing this, and this is bullshit, and like, you guys are like really taking advantage of me. Then you both need to get out of the house.
Yeah.
You don't have a lease to break, so
actually
you're not liable for anything.
Yeah. Like, just you and her go find a different place, and then she can be the landlord to get another tenant. And you're like, listen, I think it's better for all of us together that we just separate ourselves from this professionally and put it into, like, keep business and personal separate, because that's what it is. You're in business with your mom. When you're with a landlord, you sign a contract, you're in a business. So, like, remove yourself from that. It never works. It always ends up like as a fight. You're like, oh, well, she's taking care of us. Like, if she was taking care of you, you wouldn't feel this way. And if you feel this way, it's because you think that she either owes you something, which she doesn't. She could be running this like her legitimate business. Yeah. And you agreed to follow into it. Like I said, you need to check your lease, brother.
But he don't got a lease. So.
Well, if he doesn't have a lease, then he's a fucking shitty tenant.
Yeah.
Well, he's also very free. He could just come and go as he wants. I mean, then he falls under squatter laws. He could technically stop paying, and nothing can really be
squatter
done.
laws.
But don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because you're being petty, right?
Yeah, very petty.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want this lady to lose her house because of this investment. Yeah, just go. I mean, this had nothing to do with the house, man. This had nothing to do. I mean, that's all frustrating. I would hate to be with a landlord who just doesn't fix certain things. It's winter. You don't want broken windows. That's understandable stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. If you have a dangerous deck that you guys can get hurt, like the lady's daughter, and you can get hurt, and guess you have over can get hurt. Yeah, that's really frustrating that it's not getting fixed. So those are legitimate points. But come on, like we could smell it right away from being away from you. We don't know who you are. We're not in the situation. If you don't want to be with this girl, just for any reason, it doesn't matter. You don't have to justify it. Just go. Just go and save yourself some grief, man. Because this is the grief situation to be with the bad landlord. You're gonna have a bad landlord who is the mother of the girl you don't want to be with. Like, bro, that's a lot of stress in life. You're gonna grow some gray hair real quick trying to finagle this, you know. And you feel used also. The hell with it, just get out.
Yeah.
Take your losses and go at that point, and just learn to never do that shit again. You know, you sound super young. I don't think that he gave us the age.
No, I don't think he did.
You're definitely not 40.
Yeah,
for sure. You're young.
Yeah, like it definitely comes with time to understand a lot of these things. I mean, we've all had shitty apartments or shitty landlords that we've had disagreements with. But when it's your mom or your girlfriend's mom, it's 10 times worse.
Yeah, because it interrupts your relationship, it interrupts your bedroom, it interrupts everything.
Never go into business with family. Never do it.
No, not unless you're ready to lose them.
Yeah. So, I think we helped.
Yeah. Stop being a dickhead, too.
Don't fucking call women broads.
No. Unless you want to get kicked in the balls.
Or just wear a cup and be a dickhead, right?
Yeah.
I've been saying it. If I'm president, you get one kick to the junk per year. You get to kick one person. Been saying it for years. It'll be an executive order.
Everyone chat, tell us who you would kick in the balls if you weren't going to go to jail for it.
Who would you guys? Yeah, who would you guys kick in the balls?
Dick purge, one per year. It's so hard because you get one person in the entire world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, who's the one person? Like, right now, it's the guy who owns Amazon.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. Like, if you own 35 mega yachts and trillions of dollars, and you can like buy a continent and save every we could have space travel by next year if you were just to pay your taxes right, you know? But like, here you are buying your 5th mega yacht and then treating your employees like shit. So yeah, you get to kick him in the junk until he fixes his shit.
I don't.
Chris Christie.
Really...
Yeah, that's a good one.
Christie.
That's a good choice. I don't know who mine would be. I mean, first thought, I don't know if this would be my ultimate choice, but first thought, the Paul brothers, I hate them. I think they're garbage on the entire earth.
Yeah.
Jake and I think they're fucking trash.
Yeah, you get to kick them in the junk.
I would love to kick them in the junk, and
exactly.
that entire team of. I mean, they make money because they're idiots, which is not a talent, by the way, and they also, I've fucking hated them since they did since they went in the suicide forest.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah. Now I know you're talking about.
And they were laughing.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking die, dude.
Well, because then he came out with the apology afterwards. Where
Don't
he's
care.
like, well, because here's the thing about the apology, right? Where he's like,
it was fake.
I didn't think about what I was doing. Like, you didn't think about it when you edited the video?
Yeah.
When you were uploading the video?
Yeah,
when you were
didn't
fucking
think
promoting
about
the
it
video?
when, like, you had to edit through all of that footage, and you guys were, like, giggling, and your teammates were fucking giggling in the background.
Yeah, like...
And it's like, and you gotta know, if you're in Japan, how the fuck did you know about the suicide forest? You didn't just wander in there.
Yeah,
how did you know about it?
Solid point. You get one one solid
Yeah.
kick to the junk for that person. And I bet there's a bunch of people who agree with you who would also kick that person to junk. So just don't be a shitty person and you won't get kicked in the dick.
It's true.
Or
Don't be animal abusers either, because you will be lit on fire.
yeah. Or we're going to ramp
People
up your sex
abusers.
box, coitus, and he's going to rip your dick off.
Yeah.
Just got to turn the pressure all the way to 11.
The apology, exactly, Harson.
Yeah.
I know it was apology.
Apology. So yeah, that's my policy. Just don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick or you get kicked in the dick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, everybody has that. I think is the way to go. And for this guy, just fucking get out.
Yeah.
Think about
I
life.
don't know who these people are. Like whoever you guys were talking about.
Pink, you're not an idiot. He was like, I was born an idiot. I wish I had made money for it. You're not an idiot. You're not that kind of idiot. We're all idiots sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but like that type of idiot is
Yeah.
just despise.
I want to kick Warrior in the nuts for loving Tifa. That would be my person for the year.
Yeah, you can just kick your friend. Like, hey, you owe me
I will tell
$5. You just kick him in the dick.
Yeah, that's worth it for me so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
But oh man. So do we have any more questions, any more memes, anything anybody else wants to talk about?
Yeah. Anyone want to give us a topic? Do I have any more memes?
Do you guys have any deep questions? Because like most of the questions I get are like, what should I do about blank? Should we go on to like r/relationship advice on Reddit and see like the weird ones? Because those are some weird. Like people give real weird questions where it's like, trying to think. Oh, men who sell themselves short. Okay.
Okay.
This is something I actually did want to talk about this. Okay.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, she is 6'2". Okay.
Really?
And every time she hits on somebody, like online or something like that, they always sell themselves short, where they're just like, "I'm not good enough," huh? No, it kinda, but like in the way of like, why do men constantly like when they like sell themselves out of a good relationship or being in a relationship when they're like, I'm not good enough, oh, I'm not that, like I can't do that, like I'm not strong enough, I'm not this, I've always been told that I'm too short or I'm too this, like you don't want me, I just, things like that. Like
Why is she only finding those men?
Well, it's like every time she goes and hits on somebody, they do that. And she's like, men, stop doing that. Because there are too many people who do that.
Yeah.
Who, when they go into a relationship, they're like, somebody gives them a compliment and they turn that compliment to like, no, like they're humble is too humble,
Okay.
Yeah,
is
not
the
humble.
point.
That's self-deprecation.
Yeah, that's the one. That getting to the self-deprecation is what we need to like get rid of. So what are your thoughts on some of that? Where like have you ever had that experience?
I think I see this a lot with guys that I've worked with where they buy into the idea that masculinity is toxic, so they try to be as non-masculine as possible, and it's taken so far to the point that they have to bow their knee to anything that a female says or is and be as non-threatening as possible and as small as possible in a psychological way. I see that's really, really common, as in the last like 4 or 5 years. I see that as prevalent in the culture. It's been a super switch from being super masculine to like, you're not allowed to be masculine at all, and it's only skinny jeans for you forever, and saying I'm sorry for everything that you ever do, even if you didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, I think it's more of like men who do that. I think it's more of like an abuse thing, where for so long they've heard that they're not good enough, or they just like nobody's really given them the time of day where they worry too much about the people who say no and they don't focus on the one person who will say yes. And that's the thing that, well, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, but if assertiveness is demonized, then why would they ever be assertive or aggressive? Being aggressive is demonized. Why would they ever be aggressive? And I'm using the word, let me use aggressive as in the actual Latin term of aggro, which is to move towards, not hostility, which is destructive. I mean, it's so there's not even an allowance to be aggressive in the larger culture, where at one point it was an allowance to be severely hostile, right? This is just the other reaction, the other side of it. It's so common now that I think that's why it's like that way. Like guys, she'll walk up to guys, right? And the majority, let's say the majority of guys are in the culture and sucked up in the culture, they're going to be too scared to do anything, right? They're going to be like, well, all I hear is toxic masculinity, patriarchy, and me too. So why would I ever do anything that could put me in danger, right? It makes perfect sense from a survival instinct point of view.
Yeah.
So he's going to suffer and she's going to suffer. Men are going to suffer, women are going to suffer. And I don't think that's a minority. I think that's a good 50% to majority of people. And then you have the guys who don't do that and the women who don't do that, and they have a fine relationship, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people should practice the idea of, when you're saying assertiveness, okay, it's and demonizing it. I think the difference that people should really look into is confidence over conceited. That you can move into something with confidence, like instead of being conceited about it. Saying I'm good at something, saying I'm well to do at something, and being confident about it is different than making everybody have to believe that you are. Where if somebody like goes into this situation where they're hitting on them, and the guy is 5'8", the girl is 6'2", and he's like, listen, I don't think you'd like me because I'm short. Well, who are you to dictate what she may or may not like?
Just might be a nice, like Pink said, just a nice way of saying no to Amazon. Maybe he's just not into tall chicks.
Yeah, but like it was that he approached her and then does, like, I'm not gonna give away too, like, but I mean it could be that, yes, but I think that too many times I do agree that I see men and women who we've had these questions before, where it's like, well, what do I do? How do I approach these situations? I feel like I'm a confident person, but I don't know how to approach men, or I don't know how to approach women. And it's the idea that you're not confident in who you are. Like, you're confident in the idea of like what you can do for your job, but you're not confident in what you think you can offer another person. And and a lot of people are that when they go into their relationship, and that's when they ask for relationship advice, or they ask for, they come to us. I love not confident people because that gives me the views, but I feel people need to go out and go with confidence to find a healthy relationship. When they swipe left, swipe right, and try to find something that, you're putting yourself out there, but you're going to put yourself out there confidently. You're going to come out, better. You're going to get people who are drawn to you because they see you as like a subject matter expert, or they see you as a capable person. Like you don't have to be, but you can have vulnerabilities, but you want to be confident about like what you're doing. You don't have to lay out those vulnerabilities at once, or you can let them slowly fuel in.
Because everybody has them. And you don't have to lay everything out on the table right away. It's good to be a little bit mysterious. And you shouldn't trust people right off the bat either.
No.
I don't know. That's a weird situation. Pink said the situation seems like it wouldn't happen too often. I don't know. I think that you're hairy. I think that I don't know, because I've had guys. Well, I mean, a guy that I dated for like 2 weeks that was a Twitch streamer. Like it's kind of a similar situation because, like he started out very, very interested, and then he just kind of changed his mind.
He moved in confidently.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck did you? I thought you.
But
I
mean,
you wanted this, like people change their mind.
But I mean, if you move in confidently, you are the one in control.
Yeah.
Is kind of what my point is.
Guys aren't allowed in culture are allowed to be in control. That's
why not?
That's considered toxic masculinity. Man.
Well, no, there's a different. Well, this is what I'm saying. There's a difference between being confident and being conceited. Conceited is toxic masculinity. Conceited is
culture.
Get culture out of here.
No, but culture matters. Culture completely matters.
Culture matters.
No way to get rid of. That's like saying get rid of how your parents raised you.
Yeah, but culture matters whenever you go into a certain label. If you're looking at a certain label and that's what's going to bother to you.
That's all labels are.
Well, don't let
just labels.
Well, don't let cultures.
You can't avoid it.
If you are going for a relationship in such a relationship that you're going to remove culture from the whole situation. Like, culture is a grouping of people. It's a massive setup of people. But a relationship is between two people.
But people don't even get to that point. Like, when Reagan's on an app and someone's going to swipe left and right on her, she's seen through the lens of a culture. Oh, she's a gamer girl. She has pale skin. She has long black hair. She wears a beanie.
You go through the labels.
It's identity politics, man. She's not a person. She is a label of a bunch of identities.
And that is the culture of those apps.
Yeah, but if you set up for exactly the culture of the app. It's
the culture, but the app is what controls everything. You can't even get to Reagan at that point. People don't even get to her. People they might have a good relationship don't even get to meet her because they discriminate her just by what the culture filters. People see through culture. There's no way to get around it. That's not saying this sucks. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying what's happening. Why Reagan has such a fucking hard time with these dating apps.
Well,
I can't blame. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Sure. Did you already ban him? Oh, I was gonna answer that question.
Who got banned?
Oh no, a guy came in. He's like, "Do you get into topics such as if the moon landing is fake?" And I was gonna tell him like, "No, the moon landing isn't fake, but we are living in a simulation, and prove me wrong." But like,
change my mind.
Change my mind. We're controlled by lizard people. But if you go into culture, where if you're looking at relationships in the guise of me like going for a girlfriend, but I need to know the clique my girlfriend is in, I think if you go into it as I want to get to know this person as a person on a general level, rather than being like, I need to know everything about her background and I'm going to make assumptions. When you make the assumptions, that makes you a shitty person. It's when you put them into those labels where it's just like, okay, e-girl, Twitch streamer, emo, whatever. But when I get into a conversation with Reagan, it gets deeper than that.
It's more than that, yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly. You have more of a life experience than what those labels are. And you only put those out there in a good relationship when you can go in there and remove the idea of culture and go in with confidence that you're going to talk to them. Now, you're not going to put out all your vulnerabilities. You're going to ease into those vulnerabilities and be vulnerable in times when you feel comfortable to be vulnerable. I'm
agreeing with you. I'm just saying that shit doesn't happen. People don't even know how to do that anymore. You remember, we're this transition generation that knew how to live pre and post internet. These kids don't know how to.
Yeah. Well, I will say if Sepri Single is still watching, and if you want to unban him, I mean you can. I'll take on any questions. But like, as long as he doesn't tell me to take my shirt off and saying things to Reagan, then I'll make him feel like a horrible person because I love that.
Shirts off? I heard that wrong.
But we can handle our own. But like,
yeah,
it's just I fucking I hate the idea that like all relationships, because it's goes back to high school for me. Because you got to imagine in a high school realm where
Yeah.
it's cliques, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's the mean girl mentality.
Uh-huh.
That we're all so close together that if I'm dating one person and I break up with one person, then I'm labeled by everybody in their clique. Because I'm going to give up my vulnerabilities to this person. Well, we break up, they're going to share my vulnerabilities to everybody to use against me. In such a close society that we're going to be like, okay, they know my vulnerabilities before I'm willing to share it. That way I can't go date another person because they've already given up my vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems with like cultural society things and dating in close-knit groups and dating people at work or dating people who you're friends with.
I've done.
We've all done it. We've all had it. Like,
supposed to talk to you about this.
no, but no. But we've all done it. I mean, it's nothing wrong against dating with people who you work with, because that's who you work with and you get comfortable with people.
Or close knit too.
Yeah, close knit groups.
It fucked my entire like dynamic.
Yeah.
Like,
I think if you stay true to who you are as a person, and a lot of your friends know you and stay true to you as people in any of those societies, you come out fine. I mean, you keep communication with your friends, you keep communication with the people you feel comfortable with. But back to the topic here, where it's just like putting assumptions on how somebody's going to react to you before you give them a chance to do so. Is something that if you don't move in with confidence, then you're not going to succeed.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, most guys aren't successful because they were never raised to be confident. They were raised to put women on a weird pedestal that also kills confidence, right? It's an idealization, and then the culture doesn't perpetuate confidence, right? It perpetuates men bad a lot. Too much. Men can do bad things, but it's gone to men are bad, which was seen in the believe all women. When you say believe all women, you're saying all men are bad, all men are liars, no matter what. So it's just bad messages out there from bad characters out there, which affect whole generations of people. I'm just saying, this culture's done some bad things to men and women. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks because you know what? Because you know what? There's direct effects. You know what? Because of shit like that, people have like swiped left on Reagan that shouldn't have, and it's changed everyone's life.
Yeah, that's why I fucking hate apps. Is because you put everything's in a box. You know, like you can only put so much in there, and then you have to label yourself. Where what's the number one question? Where it's just like, well, who are you? If I was to say who are you, Adam? What would you say?
I can't tell you. You have to experience it.
Spoken like a true politician. Well, because most people, when it's
thing I could say.
Though. Well, because the question is, when you go on a date, it's like, okay, so tell me about yourself, and you go, well, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm this. I'm a that. I do this. You know, like, what do you do? Those are labels that you label yourself. You know.
Well, that's why I'm anti-labels. That's why
I'm a Libra. You know.
Yeah. No, I'm told. But the thing is, I'm so anti-identity politics and labels. That's why I would say that. But you have to experience me. Because what I'm gonna tell you? Oh, I'm a psychotherapist, so you're gonna be like, oh, well, then he makes about this much. I'm a doctoral candidate. Oh, he's gonna be a doctor. He's gonna make this. Yeah. It's just it fills up fantasies that have nothing to do with me. That like, yeah, sure, that could be about my income range and what my possible income ranges would be later. But what the fuck does that have to do with who I am? It's actually not who I am.
No.
I could just be like, fuck that. I'm gonna go wash dishes.
Yeah.
With a doctorate, just because I feel like it, and then that's not me anymore.
You have all of those things. Yeah, you have all of those things, but you are much more than those things as well.
Yeah, but those things aren't even me. I'm gonna say those things aren't even me. Those are things that I do, but they're not me. There's a difference between do and who I am, right? That's why I say you have to experience people. Just like that's why like we can sit and we're talking with Reagan, right? We're experiencing each other. The three of us are experiencing each other. We know more about each other because we experience each other than any fucking profile would ever say.
Right.
I can write, people write dissertations on people, and it doesn't matter. You can read like for work, I had to read all the demographics, everything about a person's history, but it doesn't mean shit compared to experiencing a person, like sitting with them and talking with them and hearing their life story. So that's why I'm picky about answering that. You have to experience it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some labels, like some, to be honest, and it might be a little bit vain of me. I do like some labels because, and like when pumpkin spice season goes on in the fall, yeah, I like pumpkin spice, but it doesn't matter. Like, and people are like, "Oh, you're such a basic white girl." I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? I'm not basic white girl. That's
bitch. Just because I like pumpkin spice and fucking White Claws.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, why does that even have to be a thing?
Well, that goes into the assumptions of like just because you like pumpkin spice means that you have to do blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah, and I always answer, like, I always reply to people that are like, "Oh, you're so basic because you like pumpkin, or you like this and that, or you like hummus, or like shit like that," and it's like, I'm the total opposite than a basic white girl.
You have an aesthetic that you appreciate, and I think a lot of people forget that you can like more than one thing. You can like multiple aesthetics.
Yeah, it's like I'm very grungy. I'm very I'm very like, I'm into anime, I'm into cartoons, I'm into video games, but I also like things like Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And it's like, and like fucking oh god, I had a good point and it went whoop. But anyway, I
like making points.
I also like makeup, and I like skincare, and I like I'm not really girly, but I also like
girly things.
I do like girly things.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and
just
that's
because I drink wine or White Claw or like pumpkin spice doesn't mean I'm basic.
No, because if you like something, you can like something. It's weird, and people don't need to shit on you for liking things.
Yeah.
Like you can do that, and guys can like girly things, girls can like guy things. If you like something, you can just like something, and people shouldn't give you shit for liking it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your opinion. Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't give a shit if you drink White Claw. Like, I've drank White Claw, and I'm like, man, this is actually really good. But then I know Pink Contender's going to come in here and be like, oh, you drinking mango White Claw?
Well, it's fun to make fun of people who drink White Claw. I mean,
it is. It's like making fun of Nickelback, but Chad Kroeger is apparently like the nicest fucking Canadian on earth, you know? Like,
so much money, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's one of those, like, why are we giving shit to these people? Like, it's okay to like these things. It really is.
I like all of those things. I also like, racers. I like cars. Like, I like racer cars.
My heart just broke. Oh, God.
See, this bullshit right here, Adam. You're proving the fucking point. It's when you do shit like that. Oh, you like racer. She can like. Are you driving the racer?
Hispanic guy. You can't yell at Hispanic guy. I'm a minority.
No, it's okay. Immediately when I met Adam, I was like, I hate civics. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like... Yeah, you can give shit to them about their music. Like, you could be like, oh, man, Nickelback sucks as musicians. Yeah, but, like, Chad Kroeger's...
My Chemical Romance all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I fucking love them. So you can not like them, but don't shit talk them.
Don't shit on us. Well, because they shit on you as a person because of it. And that's kind of the attack, where it's like...
You don't have to like them.
Yeah. I think people who identify this realm, we've all been bullied about liking things.
Yeah.
I think is and it's very common for Twitch streamers and people who if you're here, you've kind of been bullied because you like something.
I wasn't growing up. Ironically, I was not. Like, I was in high school, I was a little emo kid, and I was friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And I was only bullied. I've never been that bullied, but super intensely. I've never been severely bullied, but I have been kind of tossed around bullied in my adult life for liking certain things, and I'm like, who are you to tell me that I'm stupid because I like this?
I got a Pokemon mug sitting on my desk for the army, and I had a colonel show up, and he was like, you like Pokemon? I'm like, yes, I do, sir, and coffee. And I sip my coffee out of my Pokemon mug.
Blastoise is the #1 Pokemon ever made. Just throwing that out there.
Hey,
I do like Blastoise.
Blastoise is dope.
Very
And
dope.
so it's like, listen, you don't pay my bills, you don't take care of my kids, and you don't watch my dog. I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm very anti-intersectionality in the identity politics, because Reagan isn't a emo girl, white girl who likes pumpkin spice basic bitch, right? That's not who Reagan is. She's like an actual person with like actual, like, she has like an intimacy within her, which white basic bitch erases that. It erases your humanity to do that. And the irony of intersectionality, that theory in identity politics is if you actually could take every identity a person is, all you do is get down to the individual. It ends at individualism.
Yeah.
Which is the irony of it, because it says it's anti-individualism. It's all about the group, but it's the ironic. It's like if you just thought about it for 10 seconds, you would see where you end up. Because then you would actually end up at who Reagan actually is, right? Or who Kendall actually is, or who Adam actually is, which is the point. But if you break people up into parts, you're going to be a sexist, you're going to be a racist, because they'll be like, Adam is a Hispanic male, and then if I'm a Hispanic male, then obviously I must vote Democrat, right? Well, then you're a sexist and you're a racist for saying that.
Yeah.
Because you're putting me into boxes of your assumptions and taking away my humanity. So I think Dr. Martin Luther King had it right. It's about the merit of my actions, the experiences that we have together that are actually meaningful, not the assumptions you have because of my skin color or Reagan's being female, or that her hair is black, or that she likes My Chemical Romance, or whatever, or that Kendall's a veteran, so obviously he's a Republican, he loves guns.
I do love guns. That's
well, but I'm just saying.
I do love those.
I'm not saying that they're wrong, but like they erase your humanity. They erase who you
yeah,
are.
the labeling in the general sense of it's a double-edged sword, right? Labels are bad in the sense of other people's assumptions of you on the label. Labels can be good in who you are in identity to finding other people who have a similar category to you, when you are out there looking for people who also like My Chemical Romance, who are also veterans, who are also Hispanic, it's a common label is good. But when those assumptions on those labels are put on there is where it becomes a bad. So when you say like, it's like that making the choice, people who are like, oh, I'm not a label. I don't like to be a label. No, you're a label. It's like Russ said, even if you choose not to choose, you still have made a choice. Just be like, oh, I'm not a label. Okay, you're an anti-label. You are something. No,
I'm an individual, full person. I'm not a label. I'm not a singular thing. Yeah. So no, that doesn't work. No, sorry.
But and still, somebody from an outside perspective is going to put a label on that.
Then they're racist or they're sexist.
Well, that's still going to be the thing. Like you're going to
call it what it is. Then they're discriminatory over a piece of you, a small piece of you that they want to use for their own gain, right? White supremacists do it all the time. Oh, this person's a minority or a black, so obviously we're smarter, they're stupid, right?
Well, when you put those kinds of...
And then the people on the left will say, oh, this person's a white cis male gender, so obviously he's evil, the devil, and everything.
Well, when you put those negative labels or those negative assumptions, or even any kind of assumption on that label, is where it takes... it goes off and becomes not kosher. It's not okay.
It's destructive.
It's destructive. I mean, people need to get to people on a general scale where we can talk to each other to get the deeper meanings of who people are by the, as you said, the judge of their character rather than the things that the color, the things that they do, their identity, which makes our point to dating apps being complete bullshit, because you have to sort of put yourself out there in a way that people are going to label you, unless you have a blank dating app. Here's a picture of me, and it just says, tell us about yourself. I am human.
And that doesn't work because people just swipe right to fuck you at that point.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's just Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard. No, I mean, like, Reagan could be successful. She can find a like-minded person like her on there that isn't going to be all labely, but God, it's hard. It's fucking hard. I mean, it's a low chance.
Well,
might as well play the lotto, you know?
Dating is hard. Dating, if dating was easy, we wouldn't need 2 drinks in.
Yeah. I saw a meme. I think it was on Instagram. Not a meme, but like just I think it was on like Insta Single or something, and it said every time I go on a date, I'm reminded why I'm single or something like that, and I was like, oh
yeah.
Or every time I start dating again, I realize why I stopped or why I'm single or something like that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because it's hard. It's not easy, and I mean, unless you want to just date whoever or sleep around, yeah, sure, it's easy, but we don't all want that. If you want that, that's fine, but not everyone wants that.
Dating is hard because it's like entering a room that's on fire.
Yeah.
Because you walk in, you see everything's horrible, and then you can either put out the fire or walk back out. And most people choose to walk back out. Like, nope, not dealing with this today. Tinder, here we come. Just next person.
Isn't Tinder symbol a fire, isn't it?
Yeah, Tinder is a fire.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. You can choose to put out that fire and solve the problems and deal with that room and find that it's a beautiful room and fix it up. Or you walk out and find a room that has a little less fire in it.
Oh, yeah.
So, Reagan, are you on dating apps right now?
I'm just on Hinge, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. At least she's not on Tinder. So.
I was gonna say, should we be putting that out on broadcast?
We should.
No.
We probably shouldn't.
It's fine. I don't think it does it really matter.
I don't know. Hopefully, people in our chat don't just start hitting on you, like random people who come in and like, oh hey.
I mean, they do. You can always swipe left. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I got Pink to swipe left for me. That's why I made him a mod.
I have, like, Hinge is a bit cleaner. I've never had Tinder. I've only had Bumble, and I've used it like twice ever, but I have Hinge just in the background of my phone now, and I mean, it's okay. It's just very, I do think a lot of people are more serious on there, but there are some people that are not.
No.
And excuse me, but
adults are talking.
Yeah, he's like
Don't make me kick you again like last time.
I would never. But I don't know. I have many guys that are randomly that are like, oh, you're so pretty. Oh my god, you're so nerdy. Like, oh my god, you have a Twitch setup. Like,
it's a fetish. There we go.
Or like, oh my god, you're an emo. Oh my god, what's your favorite emo band? And it's like,
oh, you like emo? Name every band ever.
Yeah, it's like, and they're like, Pierce the Veil. I'm like, fuck off. You're not my generation. That's not, they were late. No. But, I'm like, oh, thanks. You think I'm pretty? Oh, thanks. Oh, like, yeah, I'm into emo. I'm emo. Like, I used to be emo. Like, I'm more like grunge now. But, and like, oh, yeah, like video games. Like, yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer. Huh? But after all of that, you know, I'm like, okay, are you really here for me? And most of the time they're not, you know? And it's like,
yeah.
And that's fine, because that's, you know, that kind of sorts out the scum and the ones that aren't worth it, sure. But it's kind of sad, you know, looking at it on a wider spectrum. It's just like, they're so, like, it's being judgmental. Not necessarily in a bad way. They just see these things that they like about me, and sure, they think I'm pretty, they think I'm nerdy, cool, whatever, but they don't even know me.
Well, I think it removes a lot, like when you have to describe yourself, like, hey, describe yourself on Tinder.
Yeah.
You remove that opening question.
Yeah.
That should be the opening question for all startup conversations, where it's like, hi, my name is Kendall. tell me about yourself, you know, like if you go into like a speed date, like, or something where it's like we go out and it's like, hi, you know, I saw you from away. My name is Kendall. I'd like to meet you. Like, tell me about yourself. And you get to kind of have that person give those vulnerabilities up where it's like, this is what I'm willing to tell you about now. And you're like, oh, okay, neat. Those are some good qualities. Let me talk about mine. And in the reverse on that, where it's like in Tinder, you immediately give up that question because they can already read it. They're already looking at your resume.
Yeah. One downer for Reagan is that since she's gonna look like an emo girl, right? Emo is a porn category, so she's fetishized. She's a fetish for a lot of people.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So same thing with geek and things like that. So
I knew like nerds, geek. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't know who emo was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is that you're going to catch a lot of those who have that fetish. If it's on a porn website, like a big porn website, and you give out that vibe, you're going to attract those who are into that, right?
If there's a label, there's a Rule 34 for it.
It's not inherently bad, but it's also very bad for dating apps. So that's one of the things I try to do when like working with people in their dating apps. It's like, check what the vibe you're putting out there, and then look on the internet to see that category you're putting in is a category on a porn website, and then take out as many as you can. If you're Asian, you're not gonna be able to erase that, and that's a porn.
Yeah.
But like, take out as many as those, and that helps you a lot. And Hinge is also really like, people like say like Hinge is good, and it's not good in the data.
None of them are good. I don't think any of them are good.
But
I said that yesterday.
Hinge is pretty terrible though.
Yeah, I think it's a little tamer from my experience, but it's still not good.
Yeah, like for the free ones, it always goes OkCupid, then in big cities, not in rural areas. It goes OkCupid, then Coffee Meets Bagel, then is Hinge,
like
then it's
bigger or more fish or something.
Christian Mingle.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah. Plenty Fish. Yeah.
And then so those are the top 4 always in metropolitan areas. And rural areas, you guys are just screwed.
Like my hometown.
Yeah, no, because you know everyone. You don't need the app.
Yeah, you're still in high school there. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, Pink has given me shit because I don't use.
Pink is
first I don't use dating apps.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm married. Yes. Secondly.
His dating app virginity.
Well, like, if I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to find a relationship, it's not going to be like, hi, I see that you're an emo girl and I bet you fuck good. Like, it's...
You know you're a gentleman, man. You're not, you're a gentleman.
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just telling you, you're a special pearl that doesn't exist out in the world anymore.
I think that would throw women off very much so, where it's just like, oh... Let's have a conversation. I like people. Like, I like having conversations with people. And I say this all the time. When I was single, the best success I had when picking up women, quote unquote, is when I was not trying to pick up women.
Yeah.
The nights that I went out where I was like, oh man, I got to go find a girl tonight. Like, we're going to go out to the bars. We're going to hit on women. We're going to and I'd come back with empty hand, plop down on the couch and pass out drunk, you know? Like, nothing happened, boo.
That world is gone, man. That's gone with AOL chat rooms.
Well, it's the idea though, like the nights that I would go out and me and my friends would be out at the bar still, and I'm not like looking around being like, oh, I would sit at the bar and I would listen to conversations around me. Like, you kind of eavesdrop into conversations. And if you have something that you can interject that in not a creepy way, like in a way that's like, oh, by the way, like, actually, not even like an actually, but like, oh, by the way, like they actually did some blah, 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 blah. Like, able to bring some sort of attention to yourself in a way that people are going to be like, that's an interesting point. And you want to talk to us. Interjecting in with a little confidence got me a long way, where I was then able to move into that conversation, meet some people, and then just converse. And then as you conversed, I put out, those vulnerabilities. We got to talking and knowing each other.
Yeah.
Not because they like looked at me on a Facebook and was like, let me swipe that.
Listen, that's not gonna work for Reagan and Pink unless you and I introduce them to somebody.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
Why?
Reagan, how many times do you get? Okay, when you're on a dating, let's ask Reagan. Right, she's right here. How many times on the dating app when you both swipe right and you start a conversation, do you even get to the point where Kendall is talking about? How many times? Percentage.
How many times does a guy do that?
No. I'm talking. They get to the point where they're having the kind of conversation you're saying. Okay. Give me a percentage of it.
I don't know. Maybe 10% of the time.
1 out of 10, man.
Yeah, maybe 2, 1 or 2 out of 10. And I mean, most of the time, like I had 5 cat hair. Oh my god. Like for example, this guy, we like earlier this week, last week, we had matched, and I was like, yeah, he looks cool, he's nerdy, like maybe we'll get along, we'll see. So I started chatting with him, and he says he's 28, I'm 29, and he just immediately started being like, hey shoddy, hey shit like that. And I was like, fuck off, you don't even know me.
Well, because like, this goes into what we were talking about earlier, because they're not going into the conversation that I'm going into.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, too many times, like with the dating apps, it goes immediately into like, hey beautiful, hey pretty, hey gorgeous, like, hey, I would like, if you're going into a conversation, you don't walk up to a group of people and be like, hey beautiful, I know. Like you fucking go up as people.
Yeah.
You go 80s with cocaine that used to happen.
Yeah, man. Like if you go into the conversation,
1 out of 30 pinks.
Well, like if
for guys, it's worse.
We're putting Reagan too much on this, but like if the conversation in a dating app was like, hi, I saw your profile and what tell me more about yourself. I really like that you're an anime. That's pretty cool. Like you would converse more with that, or wouldn't you? Like that's like who would that be more appealing?
Would that be more appealing? That's a question. It's a real question.
It's weird. I don't know, because I have had conversations that are like, hey, hey Reagan, how are you tonight? Fine. And then I reply back to them, and then they're like, do you like anime, or like, what do you stream? And I'm like, oh, I stream just chatting, or I stream RPGs, JRPGs. And then it just kind of drizzles out, and I'm like, okay, I'm bored.
Yep.
Like, you don't seem interested, so fucking get out of my sight.
I think that's also the problem is that they don't keep interest.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing, that when you're in a conversation with somebody, even if you're not interested in the thing that they're saying, like, why would you start that conversation?
Yes.
Like, if you go into a conversation and you start talking to somebody and they say something that you're not interested in, why would you ask them the question?
But listen, this is what I'm trying to get at with Reagan, right? Kosher conversation at the beginning of when you're just starting with an app, right? Mm-hmm. Just after the right swipe, you haven't talked on Zoom, you haven't met. That kosher conversation isn't interesting enough to keep a conversation going. It's just not, it doesn't work because there isn't a person in front of you.
Yeah.
It's the difference between listening to music on your headphones and being in a mosh pit. It is a completely different experience, and it's the same exact fucking words.
Well, no, I agree that
there's a huge barrier because of these dating apps, and you're just looking at words. And she has 1,000 dudes doing the same fucking thing.
Well, I'm
kosher conversation is not interesting enough at that level.
It's gonna
be way more interesting in person.
Well, I'm not speaking to how Reagan handles a dating app, right? I'm speaking to.
You're doing it all wrong, Reagan.
No.
No, I totally am.
I mean, like, whatever.
Because immediately when they don't like do a lot. When they're like, this or that or shorting this, I'm like, bye.
I'm more speaking to the men about dating apps.
Yeah.
Where.
You, Pink.
let me see what Pink says here real quick. I once matched with a lady that instantly wanted to exchange Snapchat. She proceeded to send wide-eyed selfies. Now that I think about it, she may have wanted naughty pics. Too bad that's not my jam. Ew.
Yeah.
Well, that goes both ways. I
Same
mean,
way, yeah.
as
I'm
people,
not, I'm like, no.
yeah,
No.
as people, if you're trying to use the date, because everybody bitches about dating apps not helping them do a relationship, and then they go out and do shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I find a relationship and the guy doesn't send me dick pics? Like,
Why
well, because you're not
why-
looking for a relationship.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why does the girls like me? I only send them dick pics. We don't want them.
No.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to see it. Looks weird. It's like a little alien boober. Nobody wants that.
We don't want them.
Nobody wants that.
Esophagus, you know?
But like people forget to interact with people, and
Yeah.
dating apps are being used incorrectly. I'm sorry. If it succeeds for you that you can go out and you get your dick wet for a
You're
night,
lucky.
great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good on you. That happens. But like, don't bitch about dating apps when you go out and use a dating app wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if people are on there, because there are people who are trying to legitimately use the dating app where it's like, I want to go on a date, I want to meet somebody, I want to do something. But then you go to start a conversation and then you're like, this is boring, because dating apps have provided that you have 15 more people waiting in the wings. That you're like, well, I can start a conversation with somebody else. This is just
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like, oh, did you forget to reply? I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Okay. Here's a question that I have for Reagan. Have there been guys who the conversation was all right, like it was good enough, right? But then they just never fucking asked you out on the date. Has that happened to you? Like they just were like your pen pal for a little bit too long, and then you lost interest.
I don't know. Maybe like once or twice, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this one guy, I was like, yeah, I was into him. Like we were talking like for a few days, and he just never did. And then he said he didn't have a job, and I was like,
No.
Well, because that moves into the conversation of confidence earlier,
yeah,
where like he's into you, he really feels it, and you go into this confident level that he's just not confident in himself to be like, I really want to ask her out on a date, but I don't know if she's actually into me yet, because texting doesn't really purvey tone.
yeah,
Like, you have to break through that barrier when you have these, like, a well enough conversation in text that you can maintain. As long as if you're asking questions, you have to be interested in whatever they say,
yeah,
or at least feign interest, or try to figure out what's interesting about it, and to the point where it's just like, oh, okay, I see into her eye, I see into her mind of like what's going on. You keep building that to the point of then you go, hey, do you want to meet for a cup of coffee? Do you want to like go out? Do you want to? What are you doing next Thursday? Getting to a friendly level. I mean, it's hard with weird people on the internet because everybody has to be safe. But I mean, that's no different than when we were at the bar. You know?
yeah,
But at least you were there already. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's still a dangerous area where for women it was even more dangerous because they're already in the lion's cage, you know? Like it's waiting around, and now you can be a little bit more reserved, but you really put the ball in the court for the person you're asking out, where it's just like, hey, I need to get you out of the house to come meet me somewhere. Like, now you get to decide where we go. We can go to a safe spot of like, do you want to go to this heavily populated Starbucks?
yeah.
We could do that. Like,
Okay.
it really opens it up that way.
Okay, so how about this? Let's ask Reagan, and she's right here, right? And we don't know we'll ever get her again. So
Never again.
never again.
We need a
So-
sample woman. We need to just keep.
Never
We need to
again.
keep you on a retainer.
Yeah. So what would be? So the general question is, what does a guy have to do to just grab your attention and get you to the first date? So this is from everything between the swipe right to you guys are getting coffee, right? What is? Give us like the best step by step you can give us that would be successful. Say you're giving this advice to Pink right now.
You tell that.
I
I'm
think
be right back.
Pink will listen to me for one.
What
Let's
captures
see.
your attention? What keeps your attention? What are some good openers? Let's start with the openers, right? What are some good openers that you can remember that I was like, oh, this is actually really good?
Okay, let's see. I think that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. I think it definitely depends on the person. But for me, because some things, everybody thinks certain things are attractive and everybody thinks certain things are unattractive. To me, I like some cockiness and I like a little bit of just a hint of asshole, but like don't degrade me in the process, or I'm gonna stop talking to you.
So give us an example of cockiness and just a smidgen hint of assholeness. What's that look like?
God, I don't know. You can be like, so when are we gonna go out? And stuff like that. Okay. So when are you free? When can we go out? Like, don't even dance around. Just ask me. I would rather you just be upfront with me and blunt and ask me. So when are we gonna go out? That's fine with me. But don't be like, don't be calling me by these pet names because you don't even fucking know me.
Okay. Yeah. So take away the pet names, but let's say like someone messaged you on the Tuesday, right? You talk for the Tuesday for like a couple of hours is good, right? And if the guy didn't do the pet names, right? And it was like, hey Reagan, I'm gonna be at so and so place on like Saturday. Would you like to come hang out with me that day? Would that work?
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, that would work. And I would like to meet you. I would like to get to know you better.
Yeah. So the text would be like, hey, I'm gonna be at I'm gonna be at the Abbey Bar at at 7 p.m. I would love to get to know you better. If you want, you can come on over and we can meet. So is that cockiness with a little bit of assholeness?
Yeah, okay. I mean they can. I don't know. I like it when I can't think of a good example, but I like it when they're a little bit snarky, and confident in like they don't really skip a beat. They're not like afraid to ask me out.
Yeah.
But they also kind of know what they want.
Mm-hmm. They're assertive and confident.
Yeah.
In the whole thing.
Don't dance around.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pink, be snarky, a smidgen of an asshole.
No.
Why is he laughing?
Why?
He's laughing in my chat.
This is what Reagan said while you're gone. It has to be a smidgen of an asshole.
Well,
snarky.
Yeah. And the wording.
What was the other
you
word?
can also do all that and be respectful too.
That's the number one.
Game. But that's game. You have to have a certain amount of game, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's showing that he's not a quitter. He doesn't have that quitter DNA, because the guy is too soft. He got that quitter DNA.
He says he's gonna be me. He's like, nah, I'm gonna be me. Well, what do you do? What do you do?
I just want to throw Pink in here with the.
No, it's being respectful.
We should do that.
I mean, you can send him a Zoom invite and throw him in here, but like,
do you want in here, Pink? We can get you in here.
He's gonna argue the fuck out of me.
Oh, this would be great. Might need a second episode with the four of us from the start.
Yeah, we could. I think what I left because I was getting, I had to tell my wife goodnight, but like, it's being, it's being confident.
Yeah.
You can be snarky in a little bit. It's getting to a comfort level when you hit that and knowing where you are in that comfort level. But being confident, like snarky, you ride a fine line into asshole.
But
playful snarky.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like assholes.
Partial. No. It's
from Reagan.
I get it's from Reagan. I get that, and that's a playful. Like people can be playful and snarky and be like a little like hey like, but that goes on to confidence. But it's riding a fine line that you're being playful. You start to know what that personality is, and you know that person's only doing a little bit that eggs you on.
I like assholes.
Play.
Yes. But there's like super nice guys. Like I was with a guy for like almost 4 years, and we ended on mutual terms, and he's a very good, like he's genuinely a good person. We just kind of fell out of interest with each other, but he's a super nice guy, and I was like, did I become bored with him?
Yeah, I bet you did.
And
Yeah.
he's genuinely like nothing bad to say about him. He's a good guy. He never treated me bad or anything. If anything, I was the asshole.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We've all been there. Like, you don't have to ever feel bad about that, where it's like, was I an asshole? And I look back at a lot of relationships where I'm like, oh yeah, I was kind of a.
I was the bitch, and it's like the last relationship I was in after him, which was the last dick, and it's like, no, I was mentally abused by that son of a bitch, and it's like,
Yeah. That's
Don't trust nice guys. I don't trust
that's
nice
karma
guys.
for me.
well.
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say like, oh yeah, he was a super nice guy, but just was not assertive enough.
Well, you had to be
No.
assertive as a guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
Come
you have to be
Be
assertive
honest about this.
as
You don't
anybody.
wanna-
I also, although there's a line, because I forgot to tell you this until just now, it popped in my head, but there was a guy one time on Hinge, and I was like, we matched, and I just said, hey, I think he streamed or something we had in common, and I was like, hey, I do that too, or I like that too. And it took him a few days, because I was like, oh, okay, and then like a few days later or something, he had matched or he had messaged me back or something, and I was like, oh, okay, I forgot about him. And then I had followed up. He had invited me to chat, I think. Maybe that's what it was. And then I messaged him, and I was like, hey, you should add me on Twitch. I'm streaming tonight. And he didn't say anything. And I said, okay. Because I think he had in his Twitch profile, I like aggressive women or something. Something like that.
Okay.
And I found it funny because I am pretty aggressive. And I said, okay, haha, guess you don't like aggressive women. And I just put a laughing emoji, and I didn't think anything else about it. And then like hours later, he told me to hush. And I said, he was like, lol, hush. And I was like, don't fucking tell me to hush unless you don't want a dick. You don't even know.
Bitch.
Don't say that. Like, that's a pure dick move. You're too confident. You need to be knocked down a peg.
Well, that goes into conceited.
Yeah.
That's where we need to identify what it is.
And I was like, no.
And also, texting doesn't assert
Convey
tone.
the joke. either.
Convey the joke, or if
I just
it
didn't
was
like it, and I was like,
Yeah,
Like,
he
what
could've
does
been
this
like-
mean?
He could have been like, "Oh, hush."
Oh, hush.
he could have been, but I don't think.
Yeah,
To me, I was like, you want to die?
being brash.
that's a
But
problem.
I'm also very aggressive.
Hey, wait a second. It's like, oh, you are aggressive. Hi. Like, oh, wait.
Yeah. I think we should just develop a dating app where it's just literally exclusively non-texting and only like face to face. At least stop that shit.
Pink says he's all in the sass and the sarcasm.
I mean, it's a fine line that a lot of people have to ride when it comes between
Yeah.
it. Like, they're like, oh, I'm super sassy. I'm like, okay, you can be sassy, just don't cross the line.
Just practice. No,
Yeah.
but you're gonna cross the line. Practice it. You have to practice to see. And some people
Yeah.
are super sensitive, and some people aren't. You're
Yeah.
always. It's just like comedy, because sass is the same. It's the same skills of comedy.
Know
when,
your
like,
audience.
Someone, yeah. Well, you have to learn your audience to practice. Like, someone could say things to me, and I'll find that shit hilarious, but they say it to like a super liberal lady, like she's gonna get offended by it, right? It's just there's just a difference in people. She would see it as
Everybody
offensive,
finds-
and I would find it as sass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just there is no real line to that, So
Yeah.
you go out there, you be your personality, you put your line of sass, and then you see who matches with you at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have to bend for other people.
No.
You shouldn't have to. No.
Yeah.
That guy was too sassy for Reagan, and also there's a miscommunication between tech. So what can you do? It might have been the perfect sass, but text fucked it up.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a man eater. Like, I.
Pink,
You know,
is she a
I'm-
man eater?
Why are we asking Pink if Regs is the man eater? Did she
I'm
eat
not.
Pink?
To the
I'm a
poll.
sm-
Well,
I'm a
Charlie
small
and Shay were gonna
person.
talk about this too. Oh, that doesn't matter. Size
She's a
is-
man
True.
eater.
I'm little.
We're not size queens here. We're size kings.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe should we schedule, like, we could always schedule Pink and I to have a dual.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
One of these days, we're gonna get a full like 6-person forum with all of our guests that we've ever
That
had.
would be fun. I mean, that would be a lot, though.
That would be a lot.
Oh, but it'll be freaking. Oh, come on, that'd be so much fun. Well, we've done 3. Now we'll get 4, and we'll just keep adding.
I think 4 will be the limit. I used to be on a podcast that had like 6 people, and then turned into 7 people, then turned into 8 people, and it becomes chaotic.
Yeah.
And
4 max.
yeah, four max is the limit. Sorry, unless it gets real hot and we really need to get like somebody in here, but like it would be intense.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah, we would talk over each other just from the lag. It would be hard to talk.
Yeah, you're on. We can do that. We'll get Pink in here. You guys can debate Tinder profiles and how like we could bring up your Tinder profiles and tweak them.
Yeah, I would love to fix your guys' profiles and put you both on OkCupid. I know Pink, we might stay away from OkCupid and put him somewhere else, but
I don't think Pink is as old as he thinks he says he is.
No.
He's not.
No.
oh wait, I'm missing his chats. I'm looking at too many chats.
He's like, oh, no. He's not.
Sad.
Pink complains about being old constantly.
He's not that old.
He's not that old.
If he is, I was like, I think I asked him. I was like, if you're that old, I want to know your skincare.
Listen, my dad is 65 and he got himself a new girlfriend. You know, like you're not too old. You're never until you die. You're not too old. You know.
Pink doesn't complain. I don't know. Well, let's see. I mean, do you guys want to do like a next? Oh God, it's Friday already.
It is Friday.
Oh, it is.
Jesus Christ, man! Good things happening. Time flies. I mean, you guys want? We can get you and Pink on next Thursday.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can. I'm pretty sure. So like I told you guys, I just entered a new. Well, I have a new position at work. It's not that new. Like I've been doing the same shit. They just kind of
Pile
changed
more
my
work on you.
title. Yeah, and because I'm the most
Capable.
skilled one I'm the most capable on my shift. Yes, and so I have a more set schedule now, so that's good. So on Thursdays, I usually, if I don't stream, then I will work until 9 usually. And if I can get out of there, like tonight, if I can get out of there earlier, I will. So that should be fine.
Okay.
We should
Yeah, and then we don't have to go on Wednesday. We'll give ourselves a break.
Yeah.
If you want to. Up to you though.
Either way.
Yeah, no, it's up to you. I mean.
But like, I think for everybody in the chat, if you guys have at all any questions, any comments, anything that you would like us to look into, or you know, if you want us to look into that whole moon landing thing, I don't know if that guy is here or not. He got the band hammer pretty hard, but like
we should look into it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'll explore any topic. I got enough booze to figure it out.
Yeah.
Oof. I gotta buy some more booze. My Jameson's almost out, thankfully. It's only been since we started this podcast. I'm drinking that.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun at all times.
It has been.
I like I said, I love that we can get out and I get to explore some of my more insane conversations with people, because I usually just do this in talks in my car where I'm just talking to myself driving to work, and I'm just like, hey, wait a second, and then I bring it up here at the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reagan, as always, you're always welcome back to the show, and you're more than happy to have you here. We love having you here.
Oh, yeah.
I love being here. It's so much fun. Yeah.
We won't pick apart your Tinder profile so hard next time.
Oh, we're gonna pick it apart. I mean, like brutally next time.
Oh,
Come
just
on.
wait, because Hinge has like categories you can talk about. I'm sure you know, Adam. And just wait until you see my answer.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. We should.
Pink has to go first.
Pink has to, not ladies first. We're gentlemen here.
God.
No, I think that's fair. You know, we can get Pink to. If Pink is cool with it, we'll do Pink first. Yeah, do guys first.
We'll do yours side by side. I think it would be helpful to do it side by side at
Okay.
the same
Oh,
time.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get that up on screen?
I don't
how
know.
to do that.
Oh, he could probably bring it up. Oh, because it's on an app, huh?
Yeah.
We don't have
We
like
could
a
take
like a website.
screenshots.
Oh yeah, I
We
guess
might-
you could take a
Yeah.
screenshot, share it that way. And
Yeah, share it before so I can.
Yeah,
share it.
we
Yeah,
could
yeah.
send it in our chat, and that way you guys could have it, and Adam could share it, maybe.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I'll make on Discord. I'll make a chat for the 4 of us, and then we could share it in there. There you go. And then it'll give me a couple of days to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be fun when it comes to the point where I've never used a dating app in my life, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the one. I gotta pick apart your dating app.
It'll be interesting to see what Kendall says to do, and then what I say to do. It'll be like surprise. So this is what we'll do. So I'll say this
Okay.
is how you should format your dating apps, right? And then we'll have Kendall do it too, since like Ping said he's a dating app version, and then see who likes. And maybe we'll do a double blind. We won't even tell you whose adjustments is whose, and see who likes. You guys like better.
See, that's the thing. If it's not so much for me, I don't think the problem with me for a dating app is if I could get into the conversation phase is where like I would shine. I think in a dating app where like because I can converse with people rather than how handsome I am or explaining myself in such a way. I think in the conversation is where I would be like, I'm a bard. I play D&D bard, and I put a lot of my stats in charisma.
Yeah.
I so badly want to get Kendall and his wife to sit there. They make a profile and then see how good Kendall does on the dating websites.
Oh, she
I
wouldn't
think
want
it's gonna
that.
be-
She wouldn't want that.
But it would be her right there with you.
She has seen me work at Starbucks and how often people would hit my drive-through, and I could make she complained about how many like college girls came back just to see me.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not to
I
toot
like-
my own horn. She literally yelled at me. She's like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "They come
Yeah.
every day.
I-
They just
I
get a
like
cup
your
of coffee, and I'm fucking moving along."
I like your confidence, but there's a difference between in person on these apps. I want you to experience that, but I also want your wife to be right there, just so she can't say anything.
Well-
We're trying to keep this as safe as possible. It's just for your experience.
Well, what was that play where the guy was like a super good playwright and he spoke for the really dumb guy? What was the name of that?
I don't know.
There's
I
a
watched-
I don't know.
it's a very famous story of a like the guy is super dumb and he does not know how to talk to women, and so a poet stands underneath the balcony and feeds him the lines of like beauty, and he's like able to say beautiful things to a woman because he's being fed by the poet. I would do that for Pink. Like if I got into the conversation with like, all right, let me tell you what to tell her. Like here's what you tell her.
we can.
Let me feed you a line and see how it works.
I want Kendall. I want you to experience it so badly. So when we talk about how the struggle, you feel the struggle.
Yeah, it's not
you.
you.
Feel that struggle, man. That struggle is so real.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts. That struggle hurts.
That's dating, man. That's the struggle for everybody dating.
We're telling you it's different. We know, but we're telling you it's a different monster, man.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I social media. I've been around long enough for Facebook. I know how to Twitter. I know what you kids are doing on your TikToks and your Vines.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I want you there, like with your wife right there, so she can also like be there to experience it with you, because she hasn't experienced it either. I think it would just be an experience for the both of you. I wish
It would be.
Oh, just to have both of us create a Tinder profile and try to pick up.
She makes one and you make one, right? And you
Mhm.
both go at it. And I mean, it'd be great to have a competition who gets more like matches.
That would
who
end
has the better
horrible. That would
conversation.
cause so many problems.
Oh, see, then we can't do that. If
We
it's
would
actually-
that would cause fight after fight because
Oh.
regardless of who came out on top, where it's just be like, oh, I got more. Like,
It's not a competition.
no,
See,
it would not be a
just become
competition. But if you frame it in a way of like, hey, how many people did you get? Oh, I matched with like 15 people. How many did you get?
Yeah.
2. Like, your confidence would go severely down.
Yeah.
regardless of who got more or what happened. And then if it's me and my wife, and I have to then console my wife, or she has to console me, we would still be in that realm of like mad at each other or resentful towards each other, even though it didn't matter in the world that we know that it didn't matter. But it's a confidence killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we still want outside people from our marriage to kind of like. It still feels good when other people are like, "Hey, that person looks good. This person looks like somebody I want to be a part of."
Yeah. Well, you hit it. Dating apps destroy everyone's confidence.
That's why I say fuck dating apps.
Everyone.
That's why I've been doing a dating app would be pointless because I hate them.
They are dumb. It's like they haven't destroyed. I mean, I know. I mean, I'm not trying not to be conceited. You know, like I'm not. I know I'm cute, but like I'm not. But like when people get to know me, I'm like, oh, am I too much for people? Like that's what it's made me. You know, I'm just like, oh, I'm a loudmouth bitch. That's why nobody likes me. You know, but I know that's not true. But I'm just saying that's kind of the mentality that I've gotten.
Well, that's just if like you go
from
out
dating apps.
Yeah, well, dating apps has streamlined the process. So that means like because you can do it from the comfort of your own home to get rejected.
Yeah.
When you used to go out to the bar and or go out, then you had to like work. You like if you don't go to the bar, you're not going to pick up anybody. Like if you stay at home, you can be in your comfort spot. Mm-hmm. But if you're at home getting rejected, you kind of brought it back to your own house. You know,
to your bed, to your toilet, to your couch.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to poop. I don't need to poop and be rejected for a date.
And be rejected.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody want to go out with me? Like, just.
Oh, that's why.
It's probably why.
Yeah. No.
Jasper, start judging me. Like. Listen, that's a new level of sad and single when you're yelling at your cat when you're pooping.
Oh yeah, with a dating app in your hand.
All the time.
With a sad dating app in hand, where you're just like, oh, let me check the apps. No, he didn't say no. Get out of here. Stop staring at me.
Oh my gosh. What a comic strip. Someone draw that one, please.
All right, we got to wrap up because it's 1:30 in the morning.
It's
late. I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, same.
Everybody's got to get out of here. So, all right. Reagan, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna go ahead and end the Zoom, and I'm gonna end my stream, and we gotta find somebody to raid because we're still streaming. We gotta raid somebody.